here at the Strip, off Hacienda and Decatur. The energy, the grit, the place that set the standard for Vegas fitness. Then came Northwest, near Summerlin, sharing the Fit Club gym culture and vibes across Las Vegas. Crown Jewel, Henderson, a cutting-edge space designed for bodybuilders, competitors, and anyone chasing their best self. Fit Club Las Vegas, now with 3 locations.
Take one. It means he's got the clap. Fucking syphilis dick.
This podcast is screwed.
Oh, we started over. Sorry, YouTube.
Lee Priest,
Jay Cutler.
the greatest bodybuilder ever, Ed Connors told me on the podcast.
Did that upset you when he told
No,
you?
do you remember we were sitting there
Oh,
and
that's
he's like,
right. Yeah. Oh, you asked him about who
I
was
said,
the...
who was the freakiest bodybuilder ever? Dude, when I walked in Gold's Gym in 93, July, it was for when Cormier won the USA.
Oh, yeah.
You had just come over, you celebrated your birthday. I think 21st birthday. I think.
Yeah. I was 20 when I got my pro card. I
you
turned
were
21 at Ed's.
Bro, you were the biggest motherfucker I've ever seen.
That's a polite way. You probably went, who is that?
No, you had on these gray tights.
Oh, I had a
And
hot
a
skin.
tight, no, it was like a plain pair, and you had this black T-shirt on, and dude, your arms, I don't even know what they were.
When I was at my heaviest or bulked up, they were about 24.
How much would you have weighed back in July of 93, you think, after because you did that?
Only around the 260 odd mark, 260-ish.
Ridiculously big.
Heaviest I got was 285, so shredded.
And you had competed at what, though, at that because you did like a couple.
I competed anywhere
shows.
between 204. The heaviest I ever competed was 218 at the Night of Champions that I got fifth at, and some cunt won. Fucking ripped off.
You think you should have won that, or? I remember
You're
were
being
mad
honest with
about it,
yourself,
huh?
Jay. Come on.
What do you think you should have got there?
I don't know, but who?
Because Dillette got second. No, Dillette was third.
I don't think Orville Burke should have beat me. He was a bit soft.
Marcus Rule was second, I think, in that show.
I think Orville Burke was fourth, wasn't he? Because I was fifth.
Probably. He won he won
I
after.
think I got fifth. I think I got fifth because I was white. That's what it was.
So tell us what's going on. What brings you to Vegas?
The Mr. Olympia. I'm out here with Jim Reapers and New Tech, and then I'm leaving here and going to Nashville, going to see my comedian friend Nick DiPaolo, and then I'm leaving there and going to New Jersey to do the All-Star Seminar with my friends Phil Heath and Sean Ray, Guy, Akeem, Jason Arts, another name from the past.
Yeah, of course.
And some MMA fighters, and that will be there. So, yeah, and then on the 20th, I fly home. And then 2 weeks after that, I got to go to India. That's going to suck. I hate Indian food.
How long have we been trying to get Lee on the podcast?
Longer than you've wanted to go to India.
But when I go to India, I think I got a plan. I'm going to be rich. I'm taking fucking deodorant to sell them.
He's going to buy it.
I'm going to force him to buy it.
What are you going to India for?
Seminar, and there's some big contest over there. So it'll be my first time in India.
Out of all these years, man, can you imagine, dude? Like
He's going to India for the first time.
we competed in the 90s, 2000s, and
It's great.
and you're still traveling the world probably more than ever now.
Yeah, which is weird, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
I think that's why I've been lucky because, well, shit, my last show on the IFBB was 2006, and then I stopped competing. Well, I got suspended for life for a while, and then I got the pro card back. But then in 2010, I'm like, I'm never going to compete again, so I just let it lapse. And then 2013, they talked me out of retirement to do the University. Fuck you, Mr. Full-Time Olympic. You've never won the Mr. Universe. Arnold's won that. You're not on that list, are you?
Who else? Who other NABA guys? What other great
Who won
NABA champions?
I'd have to look that up. I think a lot of...
You know who just talked to us about that? Kamal.
Oh, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Kamal did the NABA stuff.
Yeah, so that was 2013 was my last show. In 2015, I was going to compete again, but then some French exchange student, fuck the French, T-boned me and crushed all the nerves in my neck, and that was the end of competing. So
what age do you retire from competitive bodybuilding?
it would have been pretty much 40. Well, 45 is when I had the car accident, so that pretty much put
But
me
you
in.
started at a young age.
13.
I remember
13. I won my first 3 bodybuilding shows when I was 13. 14, I got like third in a men's open. 15, I won my first state title, and then other shows. And then 16, I decided I hated dieting. That's when I got fat when I was 16. Then 17 is when I won my first overall Mr. Australia, and then they said I was too young to get a pro card, so I couldn't get it. Then I was 18, I won it again, still couldn't get a pro card. 19, I won it again. That's when Lou Zuick's like, I'll bring you over I'll pay for your ticket. Never did. My friend had to pay for it. He never paid me back.
Same happened at E-Nationals for me. Too.
Hey, did you ever get this? Like 2 a.m. in Australia. Ring, ring, ring. Oh,
how's your pecs?
how big are your arms? How big? I'm thinking, what's he doing there? Is he fucking how big are your arms? Hey, Lou. Yeah, so something was going on. It's like, he's like, and they'll be like, he goes, are your arms like Eddie Robinson? So I said, yeah. He goes, do you think you can beat Eddie Robinson? The way he talks so soft. I'm thinking,
same thing.
I'm like, what's he doing on the other end of his phone? So, yeah, so when I was in Golds, then that's when Jim Manuel was there and saw me, and he was asking, I think because I was doing a photo shoot with Irvin Gelb, and he's asking what I'd won, and that he goes, why aren't you pro? I said, they just won't give it to me. So he contacted Wayne, then Wayne contacted Paul Graham, and then I was originally going to do Niagara Falls amateur, but then I got my pro card and did the Niagara Falls pro. And I said I was only coming over for 2 weeks, and then I met Ed that day. Ed took photos in that room he had back there, and he sent them to Joe that week, and then we went and had a meeting with Joe, and I got a contract that week and ended up staying 20 years. So.
Yeah, pretty crazy. But you started, like, I remember you were doing couples with your mom.
Yeah. Well, actually,
what ages were that?
I was 17 and my mother was 38. And my mother's like me. She loves junk food, you know, and she was a little bit overweight like I am. And then she's like, if I ever get in shape, will you do the couples? I'm like, yeah, Mum, you get in shape, I'll do it. Because at 17, I'm like, who wants to go on stage with their mother? That's embarrassing. So 8 months later, she was fucking shredded. So I ended up doing the show and we won it. And we're the first mother and son in the world to win a national title. And she competed for like another 2 years. And then she was the smart one. She quit and I kept going. So.
Yeah, that's kind of, because I remember couples were like a big thing back when I first started.
We actually came over and did because I competed in the, Carlos Rodriguez used to put on the AAU, Mr. Universe in Tucson. And that's where I first met Milos. And my sister came with me. She had a crush on Milos. So Milos could have been my brother-in-law if he had banged my sister back then, but he didn't. So that was 1989. And I got runner-up in my class at the Universe when I was 17.
That was your first trip to the USA?
Yeah. And the first time I saw Phantom of the Opera with Michael Crawford, and I've seen it 8 times
crazy
since.
Historian, you know. He knows everything about every film, a lot of background.
Did you guys train much together back?
No. It's kind of funny because, you know, I remember just when I met Lee for the first time, and we weren't really formally. It was more like, hey, how you doing? And he was shy, you know, and I was shy. So
Jay just didn't want to talk to me because I was the bad boy.
No, he was just like, he was a young guy just coming in, and like he was at Gold's, and I remember just watching it, and like I never sat and actually watched someone, but I just couldn't believe the size. And I remember like Ed was going on and on, like, this kid's unbelievable. He just turned 21 at my house. I'm saying, how the fuck does someone look like that at 21?
Steroid.
And the funny thing is like in today's society, dude, we talk about what we took.
Oh, yeah.
And it was pretty much nothing because we're completely broke, right?
Well, that's the thing, because even Ed said on my documentary, and thank you for being on it too, and Ed said, he goes, Lee didn't hardly use anything because back then Ed was getting it for me. And I've always said, look, when I used testosterone, the highest I ever went was 400 milligrams. But remember Trevor from Nuclear Nutrition?
Of course, yeah, he lived here.
He was massive, and one time he goes, Lee, maybe if you take more, you'll get bigger. So he had me taking 800 for a while, and I felt shit, I went back to 400, I felt good. And if I used Dianabol, I wouldn't go over 30, 40 milligrams a day. And then I said, I only ever did growth hormone once in 94 and once in 96. I didn't feel like I got anything from it. So now I'm older, I'd probably use it, but that's the only time I used it. Never did insulin. And I've always told people the exact amounts, and, oh, you're lying, you're this. Paul Dillette lived with me for almost a year. And Paul would say, Lee hardly used anything. Yeah. But yet people don't believe it. And other people say, well, you done this? I'm like, well, I'm the one that took it. I know what I'm taking. I said, where'd you hear that from? Oh, such and such. I'm like, I don't even know that guy. So how would he know what I'm taking? And that's why I tell people, like, I go to England sometimes. I've done seminars there, and I ask young kids, somewhere on 2 to 5 grams. I'm like, where the fuck do you put this?
And they don't believe what you say, right?
No. Well, because their mentality is, I'll be sitting there, if I say I use 400 and they're on 1,000, they're like, well, he's bigger than me and I'm taking 1,000. He's got to be on 3,000. I'm like, it doesn't work that way. And the sad thing is now no one does the foundation work, because from 13 to 19, I was natural even when I won all those shows, because I just had good symmetry, and for the muscle mass I had, I looked a lot bigger on stage than what I was. But then, like I said, after winning the shows 3 times and not getting it, I'm like, well, if I'm going to America, I'm going to need to be bigger. So I did my first 8-week cycle where halfway through my 19th year, I put on 20 pounds of muscle straight away, just doing 200 milligrams of Deca a week. And you can see, because there's photos of me when I'm 19, I'm in the Australian bush. And then towards the end, you can see I've gone from looking like a nice symmetrical classic guy to a mini Dorian Yates look. You can see the 20 pounds I put on when I used it. So
Yeah, and I mean, coming from Australia, it's not like you guys didn't breed a lot of. I mean, I remember like John Torelli was.
we had John
Torelli,
Torelli,
and Sonny Schmidt was
Sonny
there too,
Schmidt,
right?
and then we had Luke Wood, sadly,
That's
who
right.
passed away.
But no, I'm saying that was like, but before you came in.
Before me, it was John Torelli before me.
Remember John?
Then it was pretty much,
Sonny Schmidt was
Sonny.
he from New Zealand or from New?
I think he's originally from
Australia?
like Samoa or something.
Okay,
originally.
but he lived in Australia, right?
Yeah. Then like City won the Masters Olympian, and he was good. Yeah, sadly he passed away from cancer.
So you didn't have a lot of like I mean, people don't realize like Australia's pretty much the size of the U.S.
Yeah,
right?
but they only got like 27 million people.
Yeah. All right, take two. Hey guys, if you have not heard, I've launched my own TRT clinic. TRT Kingdom is now live. And if you'd like to schedule on consult or get more information, make sure you guys go over, check it out, and let us see how we can help with your health needs.
Click the link below.
Shit.
Say click the link below.
Okay. Click the link below. So you didn't have like that knowledge to really go in. I'm sure when you walked into Gold's Venice in 93.
Oh, yeah. It actually made me lazy because, back home in Australia, the most high-tech gym equipment we had was a seated row lat pull down. And, I was old school, barbell rows, dumbbell rows. I get to Gold's Gym, I'm like, wow, they got a back machine for that. So I used machines for 6 months and I went back to free weights. Oh my God. I was like, I preferred the free weights. But
why do you think so many people just don't believe the old school guys because we hear this all the time.
Oh, yeah.
They have to be lying. They have to be lying. Why do you think that is?
No, but I always tell them too. I always say to young kids, look, if you're using a huge amount, I said, really, anyone who's going to benefit is the guy you're buying it off because you're getting richer.
Of course.
But I'm like, okay, if you're taking 1,000 of this and this, and I said, do me a favor, for 4 months, go clean, go back on, but use a small amount and see what happens. You're going to make the same things. But if you don't, go back to your stupid large amount. You got nothing to lose here. So just try and do it safe. Even when I say do it safe, even though I only took 400 a test, if I use Sustain on 250, I'll take 2 mil, which if it's 500 or whatever, who knows? But if someone said to me before, well, it's not even 500, it's only this, I was like, well, fuck, I'm not a doctor or scientist. I don't go that deep into it. I found those small amounts work for me, so I didn't have to push the envelope and that. But the young kids now, I don't know why. And Tren, I only used Tren 4 times my whole life. The last time I used it might have been when I was getting ready for the 2000 Night of Champions. I was with Kathy, and I remember I was living in Lancaster. I put a shot in my shoulder. Suddenly had a cough come on. I'm like, But then it's like someone hit me in the chest with a baseball bat. My chest just got so tight. I'm like, fuck, I'm having a heart attack. Got a needle hanging out my arm. I'm like, this is how it ends. I'm like, fuck. So I never used it again. That's why I'm amazed now at all these young kids. Like, people I knew who took Tren would only take it the last couple of weeks. These young kids are on it all the time. But then I read, I'm on Tren. I'm irritable. I can't sleep. I can't eat. I'm like, why are you taking a drug that makes you feel that shitty? Yeah. I don't get it. It's like, well, that's just fucking stupid.
The other thing I've noticed too is when you guys came up, you started small, and as you progressed, you took more things. Yeah. Now there's guys at the national level that are taking more shit than you two took combined at your peak.
Well, I used to tell people, I said, a lot of amateurs I'm speaking to, you've probably spoken to too, and I'd tell them, you're taking more than the pros. No, we're not. You're lying. I'm like, I'm not lying. We're not. And that's why I try and tell them, the small amount might be, even when I say 400, who knows if 400 is safe? To me, it just seems safer than 1,000, so I'm just going off that. But then I was always smarter because I'd always bulk up. Even back then, I was always getting my blood work done off-season, contest time to see how it was. And then one time I got a cardiomyopathy just from a viral infection. And I remember Sandy was one of the head nurses, Sandy Rinaldi, at the Santa Monica Hospital, and she came in. I was like, let's get ready for the Ironman. So I had to pull out of the show. I ended up doing it, but I just did it clean because I had to get all the gear. But the funny thing was, I was with Kathy in the hospital, and this nurse comes in. And just, no joke, I'm laying in bed and that. You look at the chart, and Kathy said something to her, like, oh, how's he going to do? He goes, oh, he's going to die. I'm like, I'm going to die.
And it was her.
Yeah. I'm like, really? That's what she said, he's going to die. So I'm like, okay. Then all of a sudden they bring me in this food, right? And I was like chicken, the shitty hospital chicken and vegetables, and there's a piece of chocolate cake. And she goes, okay, you can eat that, but she goes, try not eating the cake because we've got to do more tests and the sugar might set it off. And I'm like, okay, fine. So she leaves. I start eating the cake. She walks in. She goes, I told you not to eat that cake. I said, but you also told me I'm going to fucking die. So I'm going to fucking die. I'm eating the chocolate cake. So
That's hilarious.
I'm like, fuck, I'm not dying just eating chicken and vegetables.
You know what's crazy about that though, Lee, is that
I sort of cut you off, but yeah, the reason I was saying was, so from that point on, early 2000s, I started getting my heart checked yearly after that just to keep an eye on it. Because, you know, we get athlete's heart, your heart's enlarged anyway. So ever since then, I've always just had it checked. So I sort of kept along those lines the whole time, and I've done it ever since.
would the pros never really, like when we got together, we never really discussed, what do you take?
Never.
That was never a conversation. And I think people think that, like a discussion, I mean, we wouldn't even talk about, oh, I'm doing this for nutrition, or if I'm taking this like over-the-counter supplement. Really, it was kind of, everyone was individual. I know like Sean Ray, he never weighed food. You were the same way. I think you would just eat clean, maybe cut out, because, you know, you were notorious for having the crazy bulks, right? You put on over 50 pounds in the off season.
Yeah, but plus too, I'd just do like, because I didn't, some years when I tried to stay leaner, I'd never got in shape as good, because if I was heavy, I knew I had to get my ass in shape. And I always did lots of cardio, 2 to 3 hours a day, train twice a day. But if I was 285, I'm like, I really got to get in shape. So I'd bust my ass. A couple of years, I was like 255. I'm like, fuck, you're already 30 pounds ahead of the game. So I wouldn't go into it as hard. Yeah. I'd rather go in harder. And then sometimes to make myself even more motivated, back then, you know, like a new car would come out, like the Corvette. I'm like,
yeah, of course,
I'm going to go get that car. I'm like, how much am I making on my contract? Oh, I'm like, not. So I'd go into the car thing, get the form, fudge the numbers. What do you do for a living? Oh, fuck, I'm not going to say I'm pro bodybuilder. I don't want to explain that shit. So I just make up some job thing, show the paycheck. So I fudge the numbers, and I'm like, I go home, get a phone call. You've been approved. I'm like, yes. I race down, get the car. Then I'm like, how the fuck am I going to pay for this? I better get in shape. So
you always had great cars, though.
Yeah, I'd always go find something to get. So yeah.
But are you still a car guy?
Yeah, but I've been for a while now. I just sold my 68 Camaro and 70 Mustang, and going back to my favorite, I got a military Humvee.
Yeah, he was talking about this forever, getting that H1, but it's just harder to get, I think, over there.
You had one back in the day, though, didn't you?
I had a couple, yeah. But now, I said the one I got now is actually from the military Humvee.
So it's kind of a basic inside then and everything, right?
Basic.
Basic. I got ammo cases inside we've made into cup holders.
You sent me the pictures, remember? You sent me the videos. Let me ask you this. So Australia, the vehicles are way more expensive, it seems like.
Well, the new Corvette down there, even with the exchange rate, the dollar and that, and even taxes, it's like the new Corvette in Australia starts at about 240,000. If you want like the Dodge TRX truck down there, it starts at 275,000. So it's pretty much 4 times what it is.
Well, remember, they got to change the steering wheel.
Yeah. So why don't we get into export business?
Exactly.
We can buy 10 of them.
Because you got to have this.
We can actually get the cars from England, because they're already the same, right? We can ship, because they're a lot cheaper in England too. So
in South Africa, there's a company there that brings them in, they convert it to the other side, or just have it on the other side. Fuck it. Yeah,
well, mine's left-hand drive still, so I think nowadays, if it's older than 20 years, you don't have to convert them. So.
Oh, okay, I thought you always had to.
Well, if it's new, you do, but the older ones you don't. I think it's 20 years and older, you don't have to.
It's just awkward driving around the streets unless you're used to it.
I'm used to it. Like, you know,
what's it used to? Yeah, you go from the U.S. to driving over there. Like,
yeah, well, like I said, I got like an Australian car. I'm on the right-hand side. When I hop in the Humvee, I'm on the left-hand side.
Why did you go back to Australia, Lee?
Just because of family. You know, I've been over here for 20 years, and sadly, my grandmother passed away, and then my grandfather. I was moving back because he was going to live with me again, because when I was getting ready for contests, he always do the cardio with me, and 14, 15, I'd have like freezing cold winter mornings, raining outside, because we'd go like 20K bike ride in the morning about 4 o'clock. Some winter mornings it's pissing down, I'd wake up and go, fuck yes, sleep in. All of a sudden, on my fucking bedroom window, I'm like, who the fuck's that? There's my grandfather on the bike, raincoat on, let's go. I'm like, oh fuck. So I was planning to move back with him, and sadly in Australia we don't have what they call it, malpractice and that. And he just went in to get a skin cancer cut off his neck because his lungs weren't too good, because he used to work in a brick factory. Mm-hmm. When he was under getting the skin cancer cut off, he had a heart attack. They brought him back, put him in the room on oxygen thing, and the nurse went in there and turned it off again, had another heart attack. And pretty much from that point on, they couldn't save him. So I just moved home. And then my mother got a letter from the hospital apologising, saying, since this has happened, we've changed our practices now, so it never happens again. But that doesn't bring him back, does it? So I think just being away, because we were a close family all the time, so I missed out.
Did they raise you, your grandparents?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because I know your dad wasn't really present.
No, because they split up. Because I said, because my father, he was gay. He's been with his partner now probably 40 years. So when my mother met my father, I think she had an inkling he was gay, because they used to go to church, pray to gay away type thing. And this is why I always talk about fate. You got to be in the right place at the right time. And it's like, because my mother met my dad, so I thought, okay, I'll try this straight thing, whatever. Had my sister 2 years later. I was born, And then I think a year or two after that, they separated. And that's where he met Greg, who's been now for 40-odd years. And I remember he got mad at me because I said on another podcast, I said, it's all about fate. I said, you know, if my dad didn't meet my mother when she did, I said, I would have been shot up some guy's asshole or spat on the floor. There would have been no Lee Priest. If, you know, it's like, you know, I would have just been, there's Lee on the floor in store number 2.
It's funny that you can take it like that, though. I mean, you can take it in stride. I mean,
yeah, well, I had a cousin that was a transsexual. I got all different. My family could be a Jerry Springer show, so I get along with everyone, even though people say I'm racist or I don't like these people, I don't like that people. I was married to a girl from South Africa who was black and she was a Muslim, and that's so people say, Lee doesn't like Muslims. I'm like, whatever. So, but she would actually call herself coloured. People are like, coloured, that's racist. Like, and she'd be like, no, it's not. She goes, that's what I'm called. She goes, I got no problem. Yeah.
There's black, white, and coloured.
Yeah. And and when she said she was coloured, people were like, you can't say that. She goes, yes, I can. I'm coloured. And it's not a bad thing over there to say that.
What do you feel like today, like cancel culture type stuff? Because you're like, you have no filter. No,
it's just crazy. I was like, I'm come from the time where it's like, you know, I got friends around me where you can take a joke. There's a big difference. Even the N word, it's like, in Australia, we say cunt, like, hey, what's up, cunts? Just like they say the N word here. It's like, it's all in the context on how you put it. And if you can't distinguish between a joke and someone being abusive, and that, like if you're going to call someone that in the derogatory way to put them down, okay, that's wrong. But if you're just having a laugh with your mates, that's why people get so upset all the time about different shit. So, you know, life ain't that serious.
Yeah. So you came over in the 90s to LA.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about what LA was like when you were training at Gold's Venice, and then you switched over. You switched between that and World Gym. You were very close to Joe Gold.
Yeah, because he was always
the guys.
Yeah,
Talk a little bit about that.
Well, Joe Gold, he became like my grandfather because I said I was so close to my grandfather. When I met Joe Gold, he was almost like my adopted grandfather, and I'd help him out and go places with him, go shopping with him. And
was that when he was in a wheelchair?
Yeah. Even if we go on planes somewhere, do an expo, I'd go with him. And like, it's so funny because Joe, with today's society, the way Joe would speak to some of the flight hostess or sexually, I'm thinking, oh, Jesus, it must be good to be old to get away with that type of shit type of thing. So, yeah, but when he passed away, he left me his dogs and stuff like that. And that's pretty much when he died. That's when I moved.
What's that?
Joe Gold left him all the...
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he left me his dogs and that. So when he passed away, that's pretty much when I moved to Texas because it just wasn't the same. And then Mike Uritz and them ended up selling the World Gym.
Did you ever, like, why... So he sold Gold's Gym and then opened up... Did he open up World Gym as kind of like a...
I think he told me when he sold Gold's, that's when he went back into the Marines or something or did something like that. And then when he came back from that, that's when he did the World Gym and that.
Oh. And the same guy made the logo.
Yeah. The guy
this was requested by Lee.
Oh, shit.
Oh, what's that, Jay? I do recall someone on my...
Damn, you got a lot of stuff going on here, huh? You going to pull it out and eat it on the podcast, or?
Well, you're going to try it, Jay, because
I'll try it.
There was this guy on my documentary who said, Lee wants me to eat McDonald's, so I'm going to do it for him.
I thought you said you already ate.
We lied. I wanted you to, so go ahead and open it up. He said Lee has to have a bite of a burger with me on the podcast.
Okay, we'll do that. Because I eat the Kentucky Fried Chicken wrong, huh?
Oh, you went in there. What'd you try and order? The healthiest thing on the
I
fucking menu?
Know, bro. I didn't.
Oh, can I have chicken strips?
Go ahead and open it. That's like everything you asked for.
Do you eat McDonald's every day, still walking to the gym and cardio in the morning? Or
where the gym is, McDonald's is like where your road is. That's how far it is. So
you know this, or
but a lot of times when I go in the morning, I just get eggs because you can get just eggs, proper eggs.
So you try to eat healthy a little bit.
Well, I start the day off healthy, Jay.
But you know what though? But McDonald's there is not like McDonald's here.
I don't
it's real food.
I'll find out. I'll find out.
How much do you think you spend a year at McDonald's? Have you ever?
I don't know. I should be sponsored by him. You're like the poster boy for sponsorships. Can you get me sponsored with McDonald's? Look,
you guys think this is funny, huh?
Look, I've even thought of you, Jay, because look, we have fillet of fish.
I don't like fish. No, I can't eat that. That's garbage. Ooh, I got the fish.
Jesus, how does Angie put up with you?
She doesn't like fish either, though.
What do we got in here?
What did you get me, though, that I can eat? I'll eat the chicken nuggets for sure.
That's potatoes. They're just cooked different to what you're used to. That's all. Isn't that good?
This is going to be our podcast, us eating McDonald's, or?
Yeah, and then after this, we're going to get a tattoo, so.
You could have got one at the expo.
And here we got a double cheeseburger.
My mom said she never wanted me to get tattoos.
No, Look,
Obviously-
your mum will love you anyway. Look at my mum. She got actually mad when I took the tattoo off my face.
How do you take a tattoo off your face?
I got photos of it. You should see it. It looked like I used my face as a brake on the road.
Did you ever regret doing the face tattoo?
No, I don't regret anything. It's like I always wanted one, and Tyson got his, so I didn't get it after that.
Tyson trains at Fit Club.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Did you know that? Is it crazy? He's on the wall, and then he joins Fit Club and he starts training.
And then I went in there to train, and I was on the wall. So look, I got a Fit Club tattoo. Where's yours?
Show it right there.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I'm making it. Look at that Fit Club tattoo. You're underwater, Jay. Where's your Fit Club tattoo?
No, I can't get any tattoos yet.
It's like, oh, why? What, you're too young?
My mom will get pissed.
Get a tattoo that says love heart with mum in it. How can she get mad at that?
Maybe I should get an Olympia tattoo, huh?
Well, there's a cheeseburger for you, Jay. I
Are you
put some
gonna
of
eat
this.
this, Matt, or
This is what Lee Priest wanted on the podcast. He wanted to see Jay eat
What,
McDonald's.
what, Jay's too fucking perfect. Look at him, his hair, his skin, fucking fit for 50. Welcome to my course, Jay. This is fat for 55. You got a couple more years to bulk up here.
yeah, but you're not even.
Pretty soon they're going to be like, it's a shame what happened to Jay after that Lee podcast.
You're going to be what? 53?
Exactly
You're
right.
going to be 53, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, fat for 53. Sounds good. It's got a ring to it. Do a Lee Priest bulk in your older age. Oh, yeah, you can try this too, because this is chicken, because I know you love chicken. I see Angie cooking all that food for you. I cooked this for you.
She really wanted to come see you today. She told me.
Now, hold on, you got to have this. You got to dip it in this. Jesus Christ, you're so unprofessional. Can't take you anywhere.
What kind of dressing is this?
That's honey mustard. What do you want, ranch, tangy barbecue, or spicy buffalo?
When's the last time you had McDonald's?
Never.
Once in a while, yeah.
1989.
How many times have you eaten McDonald's since you've been here?
First time. I saved it for you, Jay. That's the type of person I am.
You're the best, Lee.
I'll give that to them to eat too.
So,
You should try to fillet a fish just to bite, because it's not really fishy taste.
no, I can't eat that. I'll throw up. I hate fish.
Oh, that would be great for the podcast. You throwing up.
Right?
Does that mean
Didn't you just eat some fish the other day?
you don't eat pussy too?
With mustard on it, yeah. With mustard.
Yeah, you said you just ate diet fish the other day.
Cheeseburger, double cheeseburger. How's that cheeseburger? Did you? Oh, you ate it.
Yeah,
You must
yeah.
have been hungry.
Yeah, I was hungry. I worked up right.
You're not going to be like a fitness girl and put your fingers down your throat soon, are you?
No.
I think I got sauce on your mic. Hold on.
You know what? This is a record. This is the first time I've seen you eat McDonald's with somebody. And Lee Priest
I
got
must say, actually, now having this,
You think it's better than the Australian?
no, I think ours is better.
Really?
because it's real food. That's just chemicals.
Is it? Oh.
No, Dave
not like
Palmer
rabbit-
says it's great.
It's not like we haven't put chemicals in our
What's
body
the
before.
ingredient- What's he's told us what's in McDonald's?
Arachidonic
Yeah,
acid.
yeah. Do you know that? Do you hear him
I
talk
Steve
about that?
Blackman used to always talk about it.
That's what he said. He said the same thing.
No, I think that's why I used to love when I lived in California. I'd drink tap water, and all the body was with bottled water. I'm like, why are you drinking bottled water? Bottled water, like all the chemicals, Lee.
Water.
I'm like, you're buying all your shit from Mexico. You don't know who's making it. You're injecting it in your body, and you're worrying about the chemicals in the fucking water. Jesus, come
Let
on.
me ask you this. Talk about the landscape of Gold's Gym Venice, like the who's who. And did you train there for a long time? I know you were there in '93 when I went. When did you decide to leave and go to World Gym, and why? Did you get into a fight with someone? Or?
No, I just met Joe Gold, and then I just liked down at World because there was no music. Joe Gold was strict. You know, if you dropped the weight, so he acted like an idiot, he'd kick you out. Arnold was there every day.
Yeah. Was Lou Ferrigno training
Yeah,
there
he
too?
was there every day. Lou Ferrigno.
Who else? No other big stars were there?
You had a few actors the same as like, you had like Rutger Hauer and some of the olden time actors like that would come in. It's like when I was at Gold.
That was
Gym-
the location. So the one, it was close to the
On
gym, not
yeah.
the one on Lincoln, right?
No, the one at Abbott Kenny's
Okay.
where I started, yeah. And then he moved to the one on Lincoln.
It's
The old
on
Sizzler.
Washington, actually, yeah.
The old the old Sizzler building. But the one at Abbott Kenny, that's where I started off there, and we always used to piss
It was
Arnold.
upstairs, and Arnold would park the Humvee in the front. Is that why you got the love for the Hummers from
Well, I actually
Arnold?
got mine, then I just had a normal one, and Arnold turned up one day with the turbo diesel. He's like, Lee, take it for a drive. I'm like, I don't want to take it for a drive. I took it for a drive. I come back and like, asshole. So 2 weeks later, I went and got the turbo one.
Really?
I said,
It was that much nicer?
I said, did you get your commission? Yeah, but we used to play tricks. So, did you ever see Joe Gold had that, parking spot made for Arnold? Is that big
Yeah, in
marble?
the front, yeah.
It looked like a tomb.
Yeah.
So some days we'd put roses on in the morning, like he died. He'd come upstairs. Who the fuck did that? But it used to be funny because sometimes Arnold would come in about 7-ish, 7:30. I'd always get there at 5. And some women or whoever would park in Arnold's spot. We'd park the Hummer right behind them. And they'd be
Block
like,
him in.
I have to go to work. Arnold's like, you'll have to wait till I'm finished. You'd make him wait.
I heard, yeah.
You'd make him wait.
So even when he was doing all those films, he was coming in and training there in the morning when he was doing I don't even know what film, like True Lies.
If he was in town, he'd always come in. Yeah, he'd always come in for a week.
It's amazing he's still on kind of that same schedule. Like he still trains at Gold's every day now. And the consistency.
I think it's funny because I did that when he redid his encyclopedia, that thing, I did a lot of photos in it for him. And it was funny because as we're doing it, I thought I did something wrong because I was doing some preacher curls. Arnold's like, stop.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's going on? And he comes over, he goes, wait a minute. And he starts wiping my sweat off me like that. I'm like, oh, okay. So then I'll go again, stop. I'm like, what now? He gets the oil and he's rubbing oil on my arms. So I said to the photographer, I said, fuck the training pictures. I said, every time Arnold wipes my sweat off, get photos for me. And when he puts oil on me, get photos so I can tell people, look, Arnold's my bitch. Look at him, wiping my sweat off me. So I used to get on good with him. I remember even one day I was getting ready for one of the Ironmans. I was doing lots of extensions and him and Eddie Giuliani were there. Now, people should know Eddie, he was in Pumping Iron. He's the one that jumped in Arnold's arms and that sort of thing and was going to visit Louis. Used to get a good with Eddie because Eddie loved cars too, so he would always talk about cars and that. And sadly, he passed away just before I got my Venice Beach Walk of Fame thing down there. I always laugh about that because, on the Venice Beach, you got the bronze plaque. And
Did you know this?
You got one, Jay?
I didn't get one.
Oh, what a shame. So
you're better than Jay.
Exactly. But what happens is, I think it must be funny because people go, Arnold Schwarzenegger, wow. Lou Ferrigno, wow. Who the fuck is Lee Priest? Yeah, but back to the goals. I became really good friends with James Caan. I'd speak to him a lot because he was a big fan of Aussie rules football and that. So we'd always talk. And one day I was at just near Rose at a stop sign. I was in the Humvee. And James like, hey, Lee, and he started talking about the game and cars behind me, you beeping the horn, beep, beep, beep. James is like, fuck off, go around. This guy goes around, he's like, I got told off by James Caan. So, yeah, but we always had Gregory Hines there and Keanu Reeves and, it was like a who's who. And I remember actually one day I was doing curls and I hear this psst, psst. I'm like, who the fuck's that? I turn around. It was Dennis Hopper. He was behind me. He's like, Lee, the paparazzi are outside. He goes, but I'm in disguise today. And he had on black pants, black baseball cap, these big block of glasses, like the gay ones Jay used to wear. He had a big black T-shirt on it, and across the T-shirt it said actor in white writing. He goes, I'm in disguise. So they were like the good old cool old day actors and that. And I remember, I think Keanu was doing Johnny Mnemonic at one stage, and he was always on the treadmill running. He had that briefcase handcuffed to his wrist while he's on the treadmill. He could get ready for the role and stuff, and had crazy Andy Banowski back then, remember?
Yeah.
When he was doing the program and all that shows. And Batman, I think he was like...
He did everything, higher learning, he did everything.
Yeah, he actually sometimes still sends me...
Hudson Hawk,
He sends me messages now still sometimes. He looks like a madman with the beard.
Crazy, right?
I think, Jesus, he looks like he's getting ready for another serial killer movie.
But he was jacked at the time.
Oh, yeah, he was big, yeah.
And then...
and I missed out too, Jeep. Remember Jeep would be...
Yeah, Jeep Swanson, yeah.
I actually went for the part as Bane in Batman. Well, I did the body work for the Hulk when it came out with Eric Banner. I went back up there, did the audition. They asked me to come back and had to go to this big sound stage. We had they flew me up to George Lucas's studio, and you walk in the office, it's like this, but we got pictures of you. He's got like Darth Vader and stormtroopers in glass cases. There's a glass case about as big as this table, twice as wide. The Millennium Falcon's inside and stuff, and we go out to this sound stage. So whatever the Hulk did in the movie, the running, the jumping, when he was swinging the tank around, I just had a sandbag on a piece of rope, and I had to laugh because I never make a noise when I train. I quit karate because I didn't want to yell and scream. So as I'm doing it, the guy's like, this like gay producer guy's like, stop. I'm like, what? He's like, Lee, you got to be the Hulk. Think the Hulk, like your gay voice. You got to go, and scream. So, okay, so I can get in now and I'm slamming the sandbags together like I'm fighting the Hulk dogs. And I'm screaming. All of a sudden he's like, oh, that's it, Lee. You're the Hulk. He's like gay producer. But then I went for the part as Bane. And I remember Christian Boving, because he had a few scenes in it, like some of the henchmen in different scenes. He's like, oh, Joel Schumacher told me to tell you, he goes, you'd probably kill yourself if you knew how close it was. You just missed out. They went with Jeep because he had to act beside Uma Thurman, who's tall. So they went with him because Jeep was tall. But as a consolation prize, Joel Schumacher took me up there when they were filming Lois and Clark. So he took me down, and we're backstage where they're filming, and all these Superman suits are hanging up. I'm like, can I steal one? He's like, no, you better not. But I was tempted to take a Superman suit.
You've always been infatuated by Superman. I mean, you've done Superman
Ever since I was a little
routines.
kid. Yeah, when I was young.
Is that how you kind of started with the physique thing, or you think? Or
I think
the cartoon?
the He-Man cartoon, but then my mum called me after Lee Majors, a $6 million man.
Yep.
So I was always into strength stuff. I'd like push our car back and forth in the driveway just to do stuff like that. And then 86, I think, when Rocky IV come out.
That was my trigger too. I was 12.
Yeah.
I was 12 then.
Yeah, I'd train at home in the garage doing all the ab things off the bench and doing chin-ups from the thing, just like he did. Like, I'm hardcore. I didn't have the snow like Russia, but did all that sort of stuff. Yeah, so I never got into bodybuilding I never said I wanted to be a bodybuilder. I just wanted to look like He-Man. And because I was young and I developed pretty good at 13, there was guys in the gym that said, hey, there's a contest like the schoolboys division, it was called. It was 18 years and under. You should give it a go. So I did it. Told my mum I was going to do it. She regrets she never went to see me because she's like, because even until I did magic, I had an uncle who was a magician. So I went to magic school for a year or two, but I'd always get nervous. I'm going to go on stage and fuck this up. They're going to see how it's done. So I quit that. So when I told my mum I'm going to do bodybuilding, she was like, you're going to go on stage in that little underwear in front of people? I'm like, oh, I'll give it a go. But even then, like even when I came to America and did that amateur show and got my pro card, I remember being on stage and I'm like, fuck, there's Milos, there's fucking David Durf. Because, coming from Australia, that's all in the magazines to me. So all of a sudden now I'm on stage and, so I never took myself serious as a pro bodybuilder. I know Ed will get mad at me because he'll be like, Lee, you could be making more money doing this. But I'm like, I'm not money motivated. I'm just happy to train and do whatever. Because at the height of my career, I was probably making 18 grand a month. And then when I lost all my contracts, I was down to 4,000 for a while. And people were like, aren't you upset? I'm like, why? I said, my bills are paid. I got food on the table. I can still go to the gym, so I don't care. And promoters will ring me up, Lee, you want to come guest pose? I'm like, wait a minute, I just checked my schedule. I'm busy that weekend. I just stay home watching NASCAR.
You didn't want it, yeah.
Because like I said, doing it stressed me out. So having the extra money would be good. But to me, because it was so much stressful for me, I'd rather stay home. I'd rather be happy and content rather than
you were always living in vicinity to Gold's Gym, though. You seem to live pretty close.
Yeah, always around like Venice Boulevard area.
Why did you love being around like their culture?
I think so, because even like I said, the days back then, because everyone was at the gym, we were all close and hung out. Even the days I didn't train, you just go down to Gold's. Where you go on the fire? You go to the firehouse. And like I said,
hang out there for hours on end
with Flex or Chris Cormier or Delet who lived with me. And like you said, all the time we ate together, hung out together. We never once spoke about training, never spoke about steroids, none of that stuff. Never once. We never said, what are you taking? What are you using? I didn't care because I knew what worked for me, so I don't care what you're taking. So it was never a topic.
Don't you feel like today's social media changed that a lot where the guys don't have, I mean, Vegas has become a super hot spot now.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I don't feel like the guys really train together in a sense like that.
No, I think that's too. I think the earbuds and the big headphones that look like earmuffs take it away too, because everyone's in their own little world now. Back in our day, you'd watch people train, you'd learn and that, but if someone needed a hand on the spot, you'd go over and spot them. I see people now, they'll be struggling, no one goes to help them because they've got the headphones. I don't even know how you can have two training partners and they've got headphones on listening to music. I'm like, how do you really get into it with your training partner? I know young kids now, because I always say, look, if you're serious about bodybuilding, look, if you're doing cardio, fine, but if you're serious about bodybuilding, you want to be a champion, you can't have your phone in the gym. And they say it's just for music. I'm like, I don't give a fuck if it's for music. There's music playing. I couldn't even tell you what song's on. It's just background noise. But I said, if you go to change a song, I've got a few messages. You're going to look. And I said, your whole mind's gone out the window because if you've got a shitty message or something, your mind's just gone. I said, unless you're a heart surgeon on call, if you can't go an hour to 2 hours without your phone, you got fucking issues. So just go and get your workout done and then do your phone.
Yeah, I used to see a lot in the magazines. They used to talk about a lot of your different training partners. You seem to have like people that always kind of came and trained with you.
Yeah, my main one was Kurt Miller and Five Jacket Mike.
Five Jacket Mike, yeah.
Mike,
he worked the front desk.
Yeah. So yeah, he lived with me for a while too, leading up.
He was there when I came. Like I came the end of '93, like just to come back, and he used to talk about you all the time. You know, he was,
and that's the thing. He'd tell people too, because he lived with me up going through that contest. Because I remember Arnie Rambod wanted to do my diet and that, and Harney got mad at me once because they said, because I showed Harney my diet. He said, that's good, my training's good, and he just gave me a list of drugs. There was like 8 different drugs. I'm like, I'm not doing that. And when I mentioned that once in an article, Harney's like, you can't say it. I said, but that's the only thing different you wanted me to do. So it was like, I never did it. But Mike would tell people, Lee didn't use half of that stuff. Even Kathy, when I was married to Kathy would say, I know women using more drugs than what you're using. So
Why was that though, Lee? Like, is it just by choice, or didn't you ever like?
No, because what I was using.
Didn't anyone intimidate you to like be like, oh well, so and so, like we said, we didn't talk about it that much, but I guess you had great results. I mean, like I said, you were
even the
massive.
small amount I was using was still working for me. I had no reason to. If I was using like the 400 and this and that, and it wasn't working, maybe I need to up it. But I was still making the good results. I was still coming into contest looking good. That I didn't need to touch what. Do you
think Do you think there's certain things, compounds you need to use to get ripped? I don't think
because
I think you can take testosterone and get ripped.
Well, that's the thing. And I've dieted on an Apollon the last 6 weeks, and because people go Dianabol makes you hold fluid. I said, yeah, but even Deca, I've used Deca and Test and Dianabol for a contest and got ripped. Because it's like if you're eating clean and doing cardio, you're going to get ripped. It's like most people when they take Deca or a lot of Tests or the Dianabols back in the day, it's off season, and it's the food that makes you hold all the water and shit because you're just eating so many calories. So you can get ripped on any drug, really. It's not going to make you hold fluid.
It is the training. And talk about training twice a day. Why doesn't anyone today train twice a day, you think?
Because they're lazy. It's almost like everyone wants to, like as Ronnie said, everyone wants to be a bodybuilder, everyone wants to lift heavy, and everyone wants to be a pro bodybuilder, but yet I think you're a pro bodybuilder. All you do is sleep, eat, and train. And they're like, any more than 45 minutes you're overtraining. I'm like, show me any other sport where the top guy in that sport only trains 45 minutes a day.
Did anyone only train once a day back then? Not really,
You're trained
right?
twice.
Yeah.
And none of us are overtrained. To me, I get into arguments because I don't really believe in overtraining. To me, I'm like, if you're getting your rest in, you're getting your nutrition in, if you're on a bit of gear, if that's what you're doing, you're not going to, your body can take a lot of punishment. For you to overtrain it, you have to really be, like I said, either missing meals or not sleeping and that. But
you were a volume trainer, Lee.
Yeah.
How many sets per body part would you do?
Minimum 20.
Yeah.
Buys would be 20, tries 20.
Same.
Legs could be 30 or more.
Why is it changed now? Why is less better?
I don't know, because everyone's trying to everyone wants to be big, but they want to do it in the least amount of time with the least effort. I think Dorian started that. And I even said to Mike Mensa one time, because he'd be at the gym and that. I remember one time, I think he was losing his mind. He was out the front chimney smoking, chain smoking. He's like, Lee, I said, yes, Mike. He goes, I got something to tell you. I said, what is it? He goes, you know Arthur Jones, who invented Nautilus? I said, yeah, I've heard of him. Yeah. He goes, do you know he's God? I said, what do you mean he's God? He goes, that song, How Great Thou Art. He goes, that's about Arthur Jones. I'm thinking, oh, Mike, you're losing the plot now. But I asked him once about that thing. I said, does that really work? He goes, well, it does. Yeah, if you're under tension, you go super heavy. But most people thought you just do one warm-up set. Say your heaviest squat was 6 plates. People think you do 1 plate warm-up and then go straight to 6. So you'd be tearing all the muscles. So I said to him, why do you do that, Mike? He's like, well, he goes, because, everyone, all those personal trainers, Gold's had. He goes, look in there, Lee. He goes, see that one there? He's charging like 100 an hour. He goes, my routines, he goes, I can get 3 people in an hour and make more money.
Mike Mensa was a trainer at Gold's when I was there in 93. Yeah.
I'd always wear the big T Michael tops.
I kind of felt bad, man, because he was pretty famous for me growing up, and I felt like it kind of sometimes bothered me a little bit that these guys ended up as personal trainers, and because the bodybuilding wasn't so lucrative, and we have today like $600K up for grabs this weekend. $750 at the Arnold.
Well, even now with social media, you can have guys who never compete and make more than the guys compete.
I know, but how do you feel about that? I mean, obviously we still have $10,000 shows, which is kind of silly, don't you think?
Mm-hmm. Isn't it funny? But back then you won a show for 10 grand. You thought it was something big. I think was it the Iron Man?
Well, 10 grand went a long way, Lee, for us back then. I mean,
when I won, was it
damn near the rent for the year.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I won the Iron Man in 06, I'm trying to think if it was 15,000.
I got 10.
Yeah.
When I won in 03.
I don't think of 06.
I won the Night of Champions. When I won that, it was 15, though, the year 2000.
I think 15 was the biggest back then, unless it was the Arnold. The Arnold was only what?
I was able to buy I took that money and bought a house. I put the money down at the house.
Couldn't even buy that now. Shit.
But how much was your rent, in Venice back then? You remember around?
Hardly nothing.
Was it under 1,000? Or?
Yeah, would have been. I think it was like maybe $250 a week.
Your car payment was probably more than your rent, right?
Yeah. Well, people see this nice car and you live in a shitbox place. But I lived in nice apartments on Venice Boulevard.
You pull up in your Viper. You had the red Viper, right?
No, Dean.
A black one.
I had a black one.
Okay, yeah.
You had a black Viper. Shitty apartment.
The apartments were nice. And the funny was, because I was in on Venice Boulevard, I lived here, then I moved down a block, and then I liked the apartments across the road. So then I moved across there, and I used to fuck with Kurt. I said, Kurt, can you help me move? Kurt Miller. So he's like my brother. He's black and that side. I was getting to move stuff. As he's moving stuff, he'd be walking across the road with my TV. Yeah. I'd be yelling out, stop that guy, he stole my fucking TV. So these cars stop, people go to get it. He's like, you fucking asshole, you're going to get me killed.
We don't just fight insurance companies, we train for it. If you want results, get a lawyer that puts in the work. 107. Do you trust a lawyer that doesn't train? 102. Or a lawyer that quits when it gets tough. Pacific West Injury Law. We're built to win.
You moved a lot, though, huh? How many apartments do you think you had around?
3 on Venice Boulevard, and then I moved to a house on Rose Avenue just across from that Mar Vista golf course. And then when I married Kathy, we moved up to Lancaster, up into the high desert.
And that's when you started doing drag cars, right?
Yeah, it was a bit before that. Yeah, I started off on the circle track, like super late model cars, similar like down from NASCAR style cars. And then I went to road racing. Then I went to the dragsters and won the championship in that.
Did you know that?
No, I remember when he was doing the car race.
I thought you were going to become like a professional driver, and pretty much that's what you were going to do. Yeah. Let me ask you this: you never got swallowed into doing the acting thing. You mentioned a couple things, but was that ever like? Did you ever wake up and say, "Man, maybe I can be an actor now"? Like the dream that we all kind of. I thought, like, I was trying out for commercials when I moved to California, a couple auditions, but after going up there and like, it seemed like they cast it for bodybuilders, but they didn't want us.
I was going to say, I got a few things I'd go up to say, we want a big muscular guy. You get them like, you're too muscular.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why
they'd pick like some guy that was just like not even, I would say, men's physique now, because there was that huge. Yeah, now.
Yeah, just really small. Yeah, because I wasn't even going. I remember I was doing a photo shoot when I got the call to do the Hulk thing, and I almost wasn't going to go. They said I got the Universal. I'm like, well, at least for the Hulk, they can't say you're too big. So that's why the only reason I went for that one. I almost wasn't going to go do it. So, but yeah, I went to a couple where they're like, we need someone big, and you get up like, no, you're too big.
So talk about like some of the bigger roles you tried out for, or they come into the gym and they'd put the casting and the goals, right?
There used to be an old guy that come around, and I did. Sean Ray and I did. She was a supermodel. She was in that Gary Oldman, that Dracula movie.
Not Kathy Ireland.
No, but you know that movie Dracula with Gary Oldman in it, that real good one. I forget who did it.
Let me ask you this though: what you did a commercial before?
It was Sean Ray. It was for
And did you get paid?
Beer. Yeah, we did it down on Malibu Beach.
Do you remember what you got paid? And you got some residual checks, right?
Yeah, I was even getting residual checks from the Hulk. I'd have these checks turn up in the mail. I'm thinking, fuck, it must have been some little small percentage. But then I never got any more polls. There's this, because when I was actually doing it, we had to sign the contract. You couldn't talk about it, which I didn't. But because there's other bodybuilders that saw me up there, because they tried out too, that when they started putting out, Lee Priest is doing the Hulk, I'll get a call. Yeah, this is whoever was from Universal. You signed that thing, you can't talk about it. I said, I'm not talking about it. I got like 3 phone calls. So on the third phone call, I said, when I was there doing the Hulk, did you notice I had a Superman tattoo on my shoulder? Like, yeah, I said, because I hate the fucking Hulk. So that's probably why I never got another job, with them. Yeah, but when
was Stan Lee involved then? I got to meet Stan Lee, which is pretty
what's
cool.
His name did that one? Ang Lee.
Oh, okay.
Ang Lee was the main producer or director on that one. But then this old guy, had to go back to Australia because I was doing my green card. I had to leave for a bit. I was meant to do Rolling Stones magazine cover with Cindy Crawford as a Muscle Beach scene, but I had to leave, so I couldn't do it. So she just did it herself. Yeah, but the one with Sean Ray was with this supermodel. She was in that movie, Dracula. And then that came out a fair bit on big billboards in Mexico. And then Herb Ritz sent me this nice book. Yeah, he passed away. Yeah, he photographed probably all the famous people and stuff like that. I'm one of those people, like, if something comes along and it interests me, I'll do it, but I don't go looking for stuff.
You weren't one of these guys that had a pipe dream. You watched it, the guys come and go, right?
Yeah, I never.
I mean, Andy Braninsky, he was like really coming into like Hollywood, and I heard like he just, I don't know if he upset someone or I think like for some reason he was like the guy, and then it just seems
the Barbarian Brothers too. I think they upset a few people in Hollywood because they had a few movies that
decent
big, and then they just stopped. I think I wouldn't last long in Hollywood. Shit. I got suspended from the IFBB, so I wouldn't last long in fucking Hollywood, would I?
Well, because you had no filter. You were the original no filter guy, and today you got a lot more people that are like go on their social media and say whatever they want to say. Why did you not care? Like, what is it your upbringing that you're taught to not take any shit? Or
yeah, pretty much, because when I was younger, you'd always tell a fib here and there, a little lie. And I remember one time I lied to my mum about something, and she belt the fuck out of me. Got the jug cord, the belt. It's like, no matter whatever you do in life, never lie, always be truthful. So it must have sunk in. So I was always truthful and told the truth. And I remember I did some interviews, like I said, like talking about my father or something, and my mum would call me up. I told you it said to be truthful. She goes, maybe not that truthful. I'm like, Well, I can't go back now. But
Have you ever regretted saying anything, Lee?
No. Because like I said, I don't ever attack anyone personally. Even when it was the IFBB, I never attacked Jim or
What about Wayne?
Or Wayne. No, I never went out to Wayne. Because the funny thing with Wayne was, I sort of respect him, even though he could be a bit of a dick and an arsehole.
He was an ass, yeah.
It's like, when I did that PDI show of his in 06 and 01, I was doing it because I didn't get the ring in 2000. So I'm thinking, I'm going to go back and do this show and get the ring. I'm still waiting for the fucking ring.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I had the one.
So I was talking to Wayne not long ago. He's like, "What size is it?" I said, "Oh, you're finally going to get it to me 20 years later." So yeah, but
late to never.
But the thing is, at the 2002 San Francisco that I won, I always turn up early to the meeting, so I was there early. Wayne was there, and I was there with Kathy. And Wayne throws the magazine down, the Muscular Development. He goes, "What's this?" I'm like, "Oh, that." There's an article I was just talking about the politics, and there were certain judges, females, that slept with a few competitors. And one of these female judges dated my friend Kurt, and she said, "I don't care how such and such looks, always put him first because he's cute." And I mentioned that. I said, "Well, you shouldn't have these people judging." We had this big fucking yelling argument going back and forth, and other competitors started coming in. I said to Kathy, "I'm fucked. I'm not even going to place tomorrow." And I ended up winning, and backstage, Wayne comes over, goes, "Hey, surprised you won?" I said, "Well, after that argument, I didn't think I was going to place." He goes, "No, I'll tell you one thing, Lee." He goes, "I like you." He goes, "Because you'll say what's on your mind." He goes, "But in that article, you asked, why do I do what I do?" He goes, "Simple." He goes, "I will say something." He goes, "You might say something and get upset." He goes, "But I'll suspend you." He goes, "But the other 99 guys would do it." So at least he was honest about it. So
You won that show against Cormier, right?
yeah, he got second and
He
Dexter was
pretty mad
third.
about it, yeah.
He was actually more mad when I beat him in Australia because at the Arnold, I heard him saying, he already won the Australian Pro Show 3 times, and he goes, "I'm going to go to Australia, but, I'll win that." So I got down there a week and a half earlier and got really in shape. And, Chris, back in the day, he was fooling around with women here and there. He got in there like the day before, waterlogged, ended up winning. He's like, "Fuck this, judges are racist, blah, blah, blah." He only won because he's Australian. I said, "Welcome to my world when I compete in America." I said, "But Chris," I said, "those same judges gave you first place the last 3 years." So I remember Tony, he's like, "I'm never coming back." And Tony had to talk him down. He wouldn't go back for a long time. He got that pissed off.
Did you ever realize how good you were as a bodybuilder, you think, or did you not think about it?
I never thought about it because to me, it's like even today, I get embarrassed when people come up, "Oh my God, you're Lee Priest." I'm like, "I'm just Lee. I'm just a fucking dickhead."
I know, but we talk about the shorter bodybuilders, and obviously they came out, and I want to talk a little bit the 202, 212, all that stuff, because you said, I asked what you said highest was 218, but this division could have been.
Yeah. Well, generally, I always competed around anywhere from 204 to 210
That's your
generally
best.
my range. Yeah. Actually, when I won to San Francisco, I actually went down to 199 because I was backstage and Chris was there. I said, "What did you weigh, Chris?" He's like 260. I said, "Oh my God, you got beat by a guy under 200. He's like, "Fuck you." It's like, I was rubbing it in that I was only 199, but yet being 199, people were asking me, "What did I weigh?" I said, "What do you think I weighed?" They're like, "Oh, 230. So that's the thing. I think like Clarita and that, if you're shorter and come in ripped and you got the full muscles, the illusion is you look so much bigger. And I try and tell people that, because some people are so obsessed by weight. I said, if you come in conditioned and you got the good muscle bellies and the right proportions, if you come in, say you lose an extra 5 pounds, you're going to look 15 pounds bigger on stage. So, but people get so obsessed by, I got to weigh this much, I got to weigh that.
Lee, you competed with the best guys. You were top 5 in the Olympia a couple times.
Yeah, 3 times, yeah.
And you beat a lot of big names.
Yeah. Ronnie still talks about it.
I know, but back in that era, that was kind of.
Well, my first Olympia should have been, I think, 93 or 94. But then I remember because the magazine came out, Lee Priest suspended. I'm like, that didn't fucking take long, did it? I've only been a pro a year and I'm already suspended.
What was it for? I forget.
I can't remember. But then the one
Many.
I think,
times.
yeah, I think I ended up paying like total 17,000 in fines and
Jesus.
suspended.
Who'd money that go to?
Wayne, I guess.
Wayne's pocket,
Wayne,
yeah. Because you were a weeder athlete then. Right?
Yeah, yeah. But one time I got suspended was I just qualified for my first Olympia. I think I was like 24, so I was going to be, or 23. I was going to be young, and I went to see Joe because I'd signed on. I just did the Ironman, the Arnold, and the San Fran. They're always sort of San Jose back then because I remember when I won the San Fran. Remember George?
Yeah, of course.
George, yeah. It's funny now watching him on that Ancient Aliens where his hair's all like that because he used to promote bodybuilding shows. Now he's on Ancient Aliens and. Yeah, so I did those shows, but I signed on. They just brought out the new Houston Pro Show. So I said to Joe, look, if I do that one, it's in the middle of the year, I might not be my best fit Olympia. So because I was a weeder athlete, I said, can I just sit that show out and just concentrate on the Olympia. He's like, sure, you can do that. So I didn't go. I get a phone call from Wayne. Why weren't you there? You're going to be suspended. I said, because Joe said I didn't have to go. Wayne's like, I run these fucking shows, not Joe Weider. I'm like, oh, fuck. So I got suspended. So I couldn't do the Olympia.
Yeah, but Joe would have told him, piss off. I mean, it's still his thing. You know, he had the Granddaddy show at the end of the year.
Then another year I was suspended and I wanted to do the Olympia. So I was either due to 12 months suspension or $5,000 fine. Like, fuck, I want to do the Olympia. So I paid the $5,000 fine to do the Olympia.
It's funny because every magazine every year would be like Lee Priest suspended, but you just didn't care. I mean, that's what I mean. I don't think you sat on your couch at night and thought, man, I shouldn't have said that. No. So you truly did not give a shit at all?
I said I didn't like competing. I said I never got into it. I just loved going. The good thing about going to the contests and expos was meeting the fans. I always loved meeting the fans and I appreciated them. So it was like I didn't really care about the competing. So when I couldn't compete, I'm like, great, I got a year off, 2 years off. And it's funny, there's another time, I just mentioned it today when I was doing a thing for Muscle and Fitness today with Wendy. There was one show, an article come out, I forget what year was it, the Arnold Classic. Could have been, was it 2002 or the year I just did the Ironman, I was going to do it. And on the Friday, I met the expo. And this woman from the Columbus Dispatch comes over, she goes, Lee, she goes, what's with you and the judges? I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, I was just watching the women's and they had this magazine article of you and they were passing it around saying they're going to get you tomorrow. I'm like, really? I said, you heard them say that? She goes, yeah, they reckon they're going to get you. I said, oh, so I did this big interview with her and she did wish I could find, I won't even go back in the archives for the Columbus Dispatch back then. And there's me doing a front double bicep shot that says, Lee Priest pulls out Lee Arnold due to politics. So I'd come to Saturday when the guys are getting ready. I'm just at the expo. This guy comes back like one of the expediters. Wayne says, you better get backstage right now. I said, well, I've been told if I compete, I'm going to get screwed. So what's the point? So he disappears. All of a sudden he comes back. He goes, Wayne said, if you don't get back there now. But the second time he come back, the woman just happened to be there from the newspaper. I said, oh, wait a minute. I said, I called her over. I said, are you honestly sure you heard him say it? She goes, yeah. I said, will you give a sworn affidavit you heard that the judges say that? She's like, yeah, I'll do that. So I told the guy, I said, the woman from the Columbus Dispatch will give a sworn affidavit. You heard the judges say they're going to screw me. Go tell Wayne that. So he disappears. He comes back. He goes, okay, Wayne said you don't have to compete. So I just stayed at the expo. And normally the money wasn't great if you weren't winning that. So that weekend I just stayed there with the fans.
Remember what year that was?
I think I got to say.
Was it one of the years I won? I won 2000.
I want to say it was either four. I was either 4 or 2.
I thought it was one of the ones I was in because I remember someone saying Lee's at the.
You're lucky I weren't in it then. Yeah. See, that's the only reason you won.
To smoke you.
Yeah, I just sat it out for you, Jay.
Yeah, see, I got all these trophies.
I know that would have been mine. So yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome with that and the ring. Fuck. So then that weekend I just stayed there. I made probably 15,000 cash just selling. I'm like, why compete when I can make this much money with the fans selling photos? And
I know, but you were the most popular bodybuilder for a lot of years without being Mr. Olympia.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think
why is that? Why?
Because I never
people related to you, or
not just myself. I never tried to be something. You know, some people are fake and they try and fit in with groups. I'm like, look, you like me or you don't like me, but I am who I am. And it's like I said, even when people go, you're Lee Priest, I'm like, look, I'm just Lee. I'm just a dickhead. Okay, I got good genetics. I got a pro card. You go to the gym. I'm no better than you. It's like to this day I've been training 40 odd years. I've never asked somebody how many sets you got. I'll be at Gold's gym and I'll be like, oh, I want to do that. And Kurt will go, want me to go ask? I'm like, no, hey, we'll go do something else. Because to me, it's like, yes, I'm getting ready for the Olympia. That's important to me. But if a woman wants to lose 20 pounds, that's just as important to her. I got them all right to the machine than she does. So I've always been that way. And people go, well, you're Lee Priest, you this. I said, well, what do you do? I'm a plumber. I said, well, I was a good bodybuilder. You're probably a great plumber. I'm no better than you. So I never had that ego where, some people would. They're like, you know who I am. I'm like, oh, who gives a
shit? You said, you get kind of shy and embarrassed sometimes, like when people say that. But it must be pretty cool when you're still recognized as, and compared to like today's era of like, because I don't know if you looked at guys like a Franco Colombo, or you looked at, like I'm trying to think who else, like
Lee Labrada.
Yeah, Lee Labrada, or like Francis Benfato, or all these guys.
But even before then, the original Blonde Myth was Vince Comer.
Yeah, of course, he was a freak.
I remember a friend of mine brought him over. I was probably only 16, and they brought him to my grandparents' house for lunch. I'm like, oh my God, Vince Comerford's at my place sitting at the table. It was like the coolest thing ever.
So he was from Australia too, right?
No, I think he came over there for some seminars, and somehow
I think
somebody who knew him and was driving him around, brought him over to my
He was
grandparents.
WBF guy.
Yeah, he went to WBF originally. Yeah, he was IFBB, then he went WBF. Yeah, but I think he was the original blonde.
There was this guy Juan Marquez that was
I
really good.
him. Yeah,
Remember Juan? He was
always did a
really
pose with his arms.
yeah.
to the side.
He had the
yeah.
big arms.
Yeah, but
So-
even
so-
before then, I used to like what's his name. I don't think did he ever go IFBB? Remember Victor Terra?
Yeah, of course.
He's
he
a
was
short-
from my area.
Yeah, he was a
He was
really good-
Nava guy.
Yeah, and then I used to like coming up. I used to like John Sherman.
Yeah,
the
of
tank. 'Cause
course,
he was
yeah.
short and really thick and that. So
I saw him not long ago.
Yeah, yeah.
even
Yeah.
Terry Pastel, he was sort of a
Yeah.
shorter, really.
So did you compare yourself to those guys, Lee, or
I never looked
because you
at
never
one.
look at Dorian Yates and be like, "Oh, I need to compare myself to."
No.
Like I compared myself to Dorian
Yeah,
Yates.
I
you
never
know?
did. I just did my own thing because I'm like, I'm never going to be as good as some of these guys. And that's the thing too, because people always say, "Oh, you never won the Olympia." I'm like, but I was a realist. I knew I'd never win the Olympia.
Yeah,
So
but I thought I was going to be as good as those guys. So am I
I
fucked
never,
up for
I
thinking
never had that mind. I think the biggest mistake, I probably could have been better, not from drugs, but if I had taken it more serious in the off season, because off season,
Yeah, but you trained.
I trained, but I didn't eat. Like I might only have 2 meals a day. I might have a big breakfast and then dinner. During the day, I wouldn't eat. Most off seasons, I wouldn't do any gear. I just got heavy and fat. So if I was more regimented in the off season, maybe I could have made a bit more improvements. But I just did the best I had. Just like to me too, when people go, "You didn't have ripped glutes," because Flex also go, "I would have beat Lee because I had ripped glutes." Because to me, I looked at the magazines. I want arms like Eddie Robinson. I want legs like Tom Platz. I never once said I want to have an ass like that guy. So to me, the ass, like my ass wasn't styrated, but it's
Kind of ridiculous.
It was hard.
because we came up in the era where it wasn't like striated glutes weren't necessary.
No,
You know,
like as long as your hard ass was
Yeah.
firm. But to me, also too, my trunks always covered my ass. I never pulled them up. Like
well,
a phone.
they weren't cutting the
Yeah.
trunks like that. It was
And I
kind
think I
of
like it too when they say shows are one from the back. I'm like, the back's only 2 shots. So I was like, what about all the side triceps, side chest, front double bicep, front lat spread, ab shot? It's like, I see a lot of guys who are shitty in all those shots because they got a good back, they win the show. So I never knew why there's so much emphasis put on the ass and all that crap. Well,
because you didn't train your glutes or anything
I
like
only
that,
had
did
done
you?
from doing squats or lunges. I never, not today, you got a whole rooms designed for booty builders and all this shit. I was like,
Yeah.
I see some girls, that's all they do every day. I think
Well, the guys do it now too.
I made a comment about that once on the podcast saying if you do that, you're gay. And the amount of hate I got,
Well,
you
The
don't
Rock did it.
understand.
The Rock did it.
You don't
thought it was
understand,
cool.
Lee. You're like, when I do this and I thrust into my wife, she enjoys it. I'm like, who gives a shit? And then I see girls do it, and I'm thinking, you put more effort in that. You probably, when your boyfriend's fucking, you lay like a starfish. You put more effort into your fucking hip thrust than you do fucking your man at home. So no wonder he doesn't like you. Shit. You give more effort to the machine at the gym.
Let's talk about, should they get rid of 212?
Yes. I've been saying that
Tell
for
us
years. Well, you just look at it now. It's like, to me, I never liked it in the beginning too, because when it was 202, then did it go 210, then 212, or just straight to 212?
That might have went to 210.
I don't
But
remember.
it was like David Henry was 202, right?
Yeah. Then
So was
on Carrera.
so was all the kid was too.
Was
Steve's Jim, who's the black guy?
English, was it?
Yeah, Kevin English.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't Carrera, was he in the 202 as well?
I don't know if he won. Yes, but
Or was it two? Yeah,
I
but
think
yeah,
he
'cause
went
to me
all
it
the
was
way
like,
to 212.
I hate people say, well, if there's no 212, guys just wouldn't compete. I said, if you love competing and you got what it takes, you're going to make it no matter what. Because look who now, you look at Hardy, look at Derek, all these guys, they were 212.
Look at the guy. I mean, that's the fight
Yeah.
for the show.
And they would still,
And even Martin.
Yeah.
Martin's not a big dude, and he's like those three were the most impressive in the show. Yeah.
212 William. But
yeah,
they came
exactly. And that's the
212.
thing, if there was no 212, Derek and all these guys wouldn't have quit. They'd still, okay, it might have taken them a bit longer to do good in the open, but they still would have got there eventually. Because I'm like, okay, you got 212. Are you going to make a 190 for the guys who can't get to 212? I was like, to me, those divisions are good. Even the classic, keep them into amateurs. Because, like I've heard you say, I think the classic holds guys back from
Does,
being
yeah.
really good.
I got criticized a lot for saying that.
No, but it's true though, because I'm thinking some of these guys like he probably could have been in the open a lot earlier. Because Chris Bumstead,
We had
people
him
like that.
on here. He probably could have 2 years earlier. He could have went.
Because to me, I blame the judging too, because it's like back in our day, you probably remember when the bloated stomachs come out. We all got the notice saying if your stomach
God.
sticks out, you're going to be marked down. But then guys with big stomachs won, so everyone's like, well, fuck it, we'll get big. And then everyone got big. They're like, oh, we've got to start a new class. I remember when I was with Kathy, they got a memo, your women need to lose 20% of your muscle. You're getting too big. So a lot of the girls and Kathy lost 20% of their muscle. But then they gave it to the big girls. So the girls said, oh, fuck it. Now we've got to make another. It's like now with this fit model. We want you to look like the bikini used to. Well, if you had it stuck to the criteria, you wouldn't have let it get out of control. To me now, men's physique's they're going to start a new class for that soon because they're not
Probably do
sticking.
male model or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
It's just like this, Lee. I heard you said the same thing I said with Samson. Is like they're like, you need to come in ripped.
Yeah.
the concern was he wowed people.
Yeah.
He never was a guy even when he won, they're like, his condition can be better, but it was enough to beat guys because the variables of that were happening like Derek and Hottie weren't on last year.
Yeah.
So the question is, did he take it too far? And now he comes in and like he's smaller. And it's like, so it's like kind of like maybe you should listen to what you do.
Yeah, but I think I said, because bodybuilding, I've always said, you got to be strong physically. I said, but the main thing in bodybuilding is going to be up here. If you don't have the strength up there, you're not going to make it. And we all know those last few weeks is like the head game. And if you're trying to play other people's games, you're always going to fuck up because someone's always going to be more ripped. Someone's always going to be bigger than you. I always just came in the best I could be. I didn't worry about how anyone else looked. And I'm always like, look, if I've given 100% dieting, training, all I can do is go on stage. If people beat me, they beat me. It's like, I'm not going to be like, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. I'm just going to be the best.
Yeah, like your glutes aren't ripped, Lee. So you didn't say, okay, how can I get ripped glutes?
Never.
I mean, they might have been you might have been conditioned more or less, but you pretty much always looked, because from the front you were amazing, right?
Yeah.
People just criticized, okay, his hamstrings and glutes need to be a little better, but you were still placing top 5 in the Olympia.
Because I was happy with that too. And that's when people say to me, Lee, you never won the Olympia. You suck. I'm like, listen, in my day, if I played, because back then top 10 qualified you for the following year. That's why if you watch Mitch Series videos, you hear me, Mitch will ask me a question. I'm like, don't talk to me, Mitch. I'm training for 8th place. People are like, Lee, why do you say it? I said, well, back then I had my heart set on 10th. If I get 10th, I'm qualified. So anything above that to me was a bonus.
Shit, right?
Yeah, anything,
because gave you the whole year. It gave you another year. People don't realize we sign year-to-year contracts. Yeah. We made that qualification. We're good for another year, right?
Yeah. So I took a bit of pressure off. Yeah. And then it was like, too, and as I just trained for those shows, I'm like, well, I'm happy I qualified. So if they said Lee Priest 7th at the Olympia, I'm like, great. I had my heart set on 10th when I got 6th a couple of times. I got 5th that one year, but then they changed the placing after the show. That was funny because Paul was 4th, I was 5th, Kevin was 6th. And then the show was over. I saw Kevin backstage talking to Jim and something was going on. And my mother come over to watch that show. That was the first time I've seen my mum in almost 7 years. And we were going to the Queen Mary for the banquet. I'm getting on the bus. People are like, Lee, sorry about your placing. I'm like, my first Olympia, I got 5th. What do you mean? Didn't you hear you got moved down to 6th place? I'm like, and Paul got moved to 5th and Kevin got moved from 6th up to 4th. So I get to the banquet. I'm like, oh, that was because I think I lost 10,000 in that shuffle and Paul lost like 20. So I get to the banquet. I see Paul. I said, Paul, did you hear what happened? You got moved from 4th to 5th. He's like, what? What happened? And yeah, I said, yeah, Wayne did. He's like, where's Wayne? I said, over there. Next thing I see Paul, he's got Wayne up against the wall by the throat. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah, but I don't know how that happened. But yeah, but so to me, in that era with the people I competed against, like I think Ironman, I got runner-up 4 or 5 times. I remember that one year when Lonnie was doing the Waynes, he's like, Lee, how do you think you're going to do? I'm like, 2nd. And that year in 06, when there was 2 of us standing there, and they say 2nd place, I went, put my hand up. And then when they said Lee Priest won, I said, just check that just to be sure. So, as I said, I never took it to heart about placings. I was like, I couldn't.
But when we had our Weider contracts, and you were a Weider athlete for a lot of years, I know you went over and did Pro Labs later, which you were super famous for the Pro Labs. Yes. But we had to pick our shows. Do you remember? We had to say, okay, we're going to pick Night of Champions. There's only
they always sometimes wanted the Arnold, and then if you get the Olympic, they always. I think the Weider one I had to almost do at least 3 shows.
See, I had to do at least 2. Yeah. You know, that's usually what they requested. But, you know, you go to Joe and you're like, listen, I only want to do this one. Sometimes he was
pretty understandable.
Yeah. But what do you think if today, like the Olympia was able to contract the guys to kind of get them?
To me, I find them lazy cunts. It's like, especially when they're young, nothing against Nick and that, but when he was 25, 26, like, do as many shows as you can. That's how you learn. And that's all you got to do. Doing 1 show a year, it's hit or miss. You're going to pick for 1 show, you don't get it, you messed up. But
I mean, in this landscape, dude, you could compete in how many shows now?
And especially with the money now, too.
Well, you almost have to because you're not. A lot of guys aren't guaranteed money.
And I hate when they say, too, well, you know, getting ready for shows is unhealthy. I'm like, is it really? It's like, if you're not going crazy on the gear, to me, okay, you're taking gear, but you're eating clean, you're doing cardio, you're more active. Now take off season for 6 months, no cardio, you're eating like a pig, you're probably 30 pounds overweight.
They don't come off.
Still taking drugs, They
don't come off.
Refused.
And that's the thing too. Like when I got ready for I think the most I ever spent on a cycle too was probably 1,300. When you do the Ironman, the Arnold and the San Fran. If I qualify for the Olympia, I'd be off for like 4 months. I wouldn't touch anything until I started prepping.
And that would means like leading up to the show, you just stop cold turkey, right? It's not like
I never did
taper.
I didn't do PCT. Nothing.
Yeah,
I never did clone.
It was just like I remember the last day. Okay, no more.
Yeah,
that's it.
Well, even 2 weeks before the show, I stopped injections. I just go to orals like an Apollon to keep me full or something, because when you're that lean, I see guys doing it, and I think, why are you taking shots? You hit the wrong spot, you get a lump there and stuff like that. It's like, I wouldn't be
I did that one year.
07.
I lost the Olympian. No, I did like a Winstrol shot, and
a Winstrol was the worst.
And it infected, and I rubbed it trying to do some DMSO.
Oh, yeah.
And that caused havoc.
Well, I had before the 06 that I won, there's a video of me. I'm actually in hospital and I got my shoulder cut open because I got the same thing, Winstrol. I got all hot, it was getting inflamed, and I went to hospital and the doctor gets all gung-ho and he cuts into it, he starts digging around. He's like, oh, I don't know, there's no infection, but now I've got this big hole there. Had to put all gauze in there to pack it in and stuff, yeah. But every time, because that was just water-based, it always...
with it when you had oil still in... Yeah. Remember, because you come off, it's still in your system for X amount of time. So when people say, I'm natural, I've been off for 2 months.
And the thing is, I'd hate it too, because I'd be off and you go train heavy, you have a training partner, let's go heavy. I can't right now, why not? I'm not on anything. I'm like, I said, if that's your mentality, you're going to go fucking nowhere. If you think you can't... See, I never relied on it.
Always train the same.
Yeah, I knew... Okay, when I used it, mainly for me, it was for more recovery, and because I'm losing a bit of body weight, just keep my strength and muscle size. But I never relied. I never had that attitude where if I'm not taking, I can't do this type thing. I never had that attitude where I would miss shots. I remember Paul and I would get ready, would have a load our Winstrol shot up, and I put in the fruit bowl on the coffee table. 3 days later, you taking yours? No, you taking yours? No. I got mates who'd be like, it has to be taken Friday at fucking 4 p.m. I say, take it Saturday. No, it's got to be this day. I'm like, fuck me, Dad. It's not going to, like you said, it's not going to be out of your system in 24 hours if you miss a shot or go an extra day or two without it. But and the thing was, too, it's like bodybuilding's like, I never read those underground steroid handbooks. I was never interested in it because, yes, I know it's in the sport and we have to do it at that level, but I was never obsessed by it.
You didn't care to learn?
Never spoke to anyone about it, never.
Because it was kind of like, what's the circumstance? What can I get? That's kind of really what I thought we dealt with, like, what's around, right?
Yeah.
Or does your dealer have that?
Well, remember Scott?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Hey, what do you got? You know,
Scott would always tell people,
I just went to Jay and I sold him.
Yeah,
this,
Scott,
right?
no, but Scott would be like, if I was to make a money from steroids with Lee, he goes, I'd go fucking broke. He buys nothing. But Scott was funny. I remember I lent him my car one day. I had that Ford Sailor.
Yeah, that was a sick car. Yeah.
He came to the house one day and he's like, do you want some atomics? So if we're going to eat atomics or something, I said, oh, why you got something? I go out to the trunk of the car. The boot is chockers full of atomic shoe boxes. I undid the boxes, all full of drugs, steroids, marijuana. I'm like, Scott, you know, this car's still fucking registered to me. It's like, if you get pulled over, they're going to think you're my drug mule or something. And then another time, he parked it somewhere. Because, like, Scott's a great guy. Because when I actually split from Kathy, I always said that's my biggest regret. Because I met Adela, thought the grass was greener and cheated, and I felt that guilty because I've always been with one girl. I never did one night stands and that, so like, fuck, I can't live like this. I got to tell her. So my biggest regret was seeing the hurt that caused Kathy, because we were like perfect couple, coming home to tell her and just see her fall to the floor and in that like pain and upset. I'm like, fuck, what an arsehole. So that's why I figured you wanted to work it out, but I just felt too guilty. I'm like, once you've done this, it's hard to get back together. The trust is gone. So we split up, but then as I was leaving, I asked Scott to look after and stuff, and they're married now. And
really I still hear from Scott once in a while, bro.
I think it's
he'll watch this podcast for sure.
Scott's birthday this weekend, and that.
Scott, thanks for the gear.
Yeah, thanks for the gear, Scott. Thanks for the career. Yeah, but it's like
you need his number.
Yeah, I'm making a comeback. So Kathy just messaged me because it's his birthday this weekend, because I felt like an arsehole when I come over for that, get the plaque. It was his birthday, and I was meant to go see him, and then we were on our way to Vegas and we got stuck in traffic. I couldn't make it to his house. I forgot all about it. And Scott went out and brought all this steak and sausages. I felt like the biggest fucking arsehole ever. Like, Jesus, how'd I let him down like that? So, but they're still like happily married and get on good. So, yeah, that was the biggest regret there. But yeah, just, like,
you were the originator of having the home gym.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I had up at Lancaster.
Power Tech, yeah.
I had Power Tech, and I had that one too called Pro Spot. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
It's like a Smith machine, but, the Smith machine's on a rail. This was on 2 cables, so you could do curls because the bar would move any direction. But there was this real thinner than that there along the bar. So if you grab it, you press, but as soon as your hand comes off, it locks. So you could be just squatting heavy. If you get stuck, take your hand off the bar or stop. Then they had another one. It's like this big pillar, had 2 arms that come out and these handles on cables. So I could put the heavy dumbbells on. There's a pedal. I put my foot on it. The dumbbells get raised up. Once I grab them, you could use them and then let it go. They just hang there. So yeah, I had that in the home.
Why did you train at home out there? Was it just less gyms?
No, I trained at Powerhouse out there. It was a good gym, but I just focused better at the home. So like when I won to San Francisco, I trained at home for 6 months, never went to a gym. I only went down to Goals to do cardio so I could sit upstairs and just watch people for entertainment. Yeah, but I never really, I can train anywhere. I'm not one of those people. Yeah, some people like to be seen or like to see all the excitement going on and look at me, but I just like.
And why did you go to Texas, like after, like as you did? Because we had to be in California really to be seen for the books and everything like that. Did you feel like?
Well, my friend Mark Savado lived out there, so I just moved out there, and then I was there for.
Was that one of your favorite places you lived in, Texas?
Austin. Yeah, it reminded me of Australia a lot. There's nice the lakes and the trees and that. And I remember a funny story. I remember I was walking doing cardio once. And there's a lot of bike teams out there because Lance Armstrong was out there, so auto train. I remember I was just walking somewhere once and these bicyclists go past like steroids. I'm like, and then I was a year or two later or so when Lance got done. So I'm driving my car, I go past the bike riders, fucking steroids.
Yeah.
It's like revenge.
They definitely took more than you.
I probably did. That's the thing too. It's like there was actually an article. I remember this. I should have kept it. Sports Illustrated back in the 90s did a thing on steroids in sports. Probably still find it, and they listed all the sports. And bodybuilding, I think, was like number 8. I think number 4 was college kids. But guess what number 1 was for steroid use back then? Soccer.
Oh, okay.
But people you wouldn't think that because they're not big and muscular. People always equate muscles with steroids, but steroids are used in, so many other things.
I remember watching Victor Conte talk about testosterone raises the red blood cells just as much as EPO.
Yeah.
So everyone thinks you need to take EPO, and he said the study showed it was the exact same thing.
I remember I was dating a girl in Houston once, and I went to a chiropractor down there, and he did a lot of the what's the baseball team down in Houston?
Astros.
And when I was there, a couple of the players are coming in. He's giving them brown paper bags. I'm like,
oh yeah, the baseball players, they would do spring training in Florida.
Like I said, you got to use recovery. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I hate when people go at steroids. It's like all these fans want to see records broken. They want to see this, but for these people to do that, they got to recover. And it's like you can't be 100% all the time. The games they're playing. Look at NFL players and that. It's like bodybuilders complain about competing once a year. These guys are out there getting hit how many times? Yeah, how many games? Look at even UFC fighters or boxers. They're putting their bodies through shit and stuff like that. So it always amazes me when bodybuilders say, I'm only going to do one show a year. And to me, I think the IFBB, you should have to do at least 2 or 3 shows a year. I think even Mr. Olympia now, because the prize money's got at least 2, it's good for the promoters. It's good for the fans. Seeing the guys out there more. Plus, I think it's just good all around.
Yeah, but you follow it pretty closely because you seem to be on like a lot of media channels now. So do you still follow the sport pretty heavily? Do you have like a favorite? If I said to you, who do you like in today's like circuit? Who do you like?
Like bodybuilder wise?
Yeah, like whose physiques do you like?
I don't mind Nick because he has that freaky look and like good video because I still like those freakier type with the things. But then I still appreciate like, the Samsons and stuff like that. So I wouldn't say I really have a favorite where.
Who's the freakiest bodybuilder you've ever seen in person, you think?
Maybe when I was at Goals, Victor Richards would come in sometimes, and he was pretty. Victor's probably like the
people
Nick Zilla
forget.
about that.
Yeah, but people forget, man. I don't know if. I think he was more impressive than all these guys, to be honest.
He was like
big,
thick,
man.
Yeah.
For that era, especially. Because there were a lot of big dudes. I mean, Dillette was a complete freak. We lived with him.
Yeah.
I mean, probably for what Dillette did, people don't understand how he trained.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure how little he ate.
And for a big guy, he had a small waist.
Yeah, and he didn't take a lot of shit, right?
Oh, that's the thing, too, because I'd hear the rumors about Paul, and Paul lived here for 8 months. I hear he takes this much growth. I think the most I ever saw him take a growth was 6 IU, but then I think the last pin he had, it was like 12 years later, it was the last shot. He's like, fuck it, I'll take it all. And that was it. But it was funny getting ready for the 90, I had to tell the story. That's when all those Edelman's cakes come out. You remember the Edelman's no fat, but they're still high in carbs. So every couple of days I'd get Paul and I his chocolate cake. He'd have one, I'd have one, and we'd eating it leading up to the 98 Olympia. And then after the contest, he's getting closer, I'd buy 2, and Paul would sleep in, so I'd get mine. I'd go downstairs and put it in the garbage. Paul would come down and go, son, because he always called me son, did you eat your cake? I'm like, yeah, I ate mine. You got to eat yours now. So I kept feeding him chocolate cake, thinking I was going to beat him.
Sabotaged it.
They would sit around. I remember the stories. They would sit around and be like, I got to take my shots. And like, they'd sit and look at him and be like, no, I can't take them. Hey, let's skip them right now. And like, let's take them later, Even
on the European tour, we did, when NASA was on the European, on the European tour with the chocolate cake again, we're in Budapest. we still feel sorry for this poor waiter, this skinny guy, and that he went to see NASA. So Paul and I called a waiter and say, "Oh, he really loves chocolate cake. Can you take him some?" You know, NASA.
Yeah.
If anyone asked him
So
stupid
mad,
questions, you get
right?
off. This waiter takes him the chocolate cake. Oh my God, he almost ripped the guy's head off. Then the guy points and goes, "It was them over there." And NASA stands up. "You two assholes, what do you think you're doing?" Paul and I just laughing our head off. And then I think at 3 shows on the European tour, I placed third. It was Kevin, NASA, me. Paul was 4th. And I think on the 4th show, Paul got 3rd, I got 4th. But then we're in, I forget what country we're in, and Wayne organised there was this clothing company called Uncle Sam or something. And they were paying Wayne for the athletes to go. And we're at the hotel, and Paul goes, "Son," he goes, "we're not getting paid for this, so we're not going." I said, "We're not?" He goes, "No, we're not. Sit down." So Paul and I sit there, everyone's on the bus, NASA comes around the stairs. "Wayne says you must come." Paul's like, "We're not coming." And from that point on, I placed 7th, Paul placed 8th. We never did good again because we didn't go do this promotion thing for Uncle Sam's clothing.
That's pretty crazy. Were you surprised at Nasser's build up? Like, he was freaky. Like, he came on so fast, right?
Well, I remember the 98, that's when they were diuretic testing. So we all did our pee samples, and we went back for the night show, and NASA said, like, "Lee, come with me, we'll come in the change room with me." And we go in the change room, and here's this big tray on this thing, everyone's sample, their names and the piss samples. So I'm like, "NASA, let's put diuretics in everyone's sample apart from yours and mine." And he's like, "Oh, yeah, good idea."
It was such a big farce. You know, remember in 2001, I failed,
That's
know,
right,
and
yeah.
I sued the IFBB,
Yeah.
and everyone's like, "You're crazy. Why are you going to?" But there was 60,000 on the table. It was my first big
Yeah.
check. You know what I mean? So I was
I
like,
think they even tested them. It was just-
but like, it was just so faulty. Like,
Oh,
samples were, like you said, they were available to anyone. And like, they followed this IOC procedure
Oh, yeah.
on the contract that we signed.
Yeah.
And it wasn't any IOC. It wasn't regulated, wasn't watched over. So like,
they were
it
still
never
sitting there
went
at night time
anyway.
when we went back. And
Yeah, of course.
I always said my first screwing from the IFBB come in 18. I went to the World Championships and placed 4th. I think Jose Dawson won at the time, black guy, and that. So the following year was in Katowice in Poland. So I'm going back in as a lightweight again, and I had a 2 drug tests from the Australian Institute of Sport before I went, both negative, because I'm still a lightweight, I haven't taken anything. I was only 18. So I get over there, do the drug tests there, and I think they had that World Congress meeting. That's when they say, "Oh, your athletes come up positive." So I knew it'd be okay. So come Saturday, I go to pre-judging and after it, people are like, "Oh, Lee, our judge is giving you first. You're going to win it this year. You're going to win it." I'm like, that's nice to hear, but until I get the trophy in my hand, go back to the night show, pumping up, go out, and just before the finals, I'm getting ready to go out. I still remember it like playing Dr. Bob Goldman. He's like, I'm like, "Yeah, you're disqualified." I said, "What for?" "You come up positive." I'm like, "But the testing was done, and they were told days ago." "I know you're positive." I'm like, "Really?" So I couldn't go back out. All the athletes are standing like, "What's going on?" I went back to my hotel room because it's almost like, you know, when you always hear someone going to jail and they say, "I'm innocent," you're like, "Oh, bullshit." But I'm thinking, fuck, I haven't taken anything. And I actually looked over the back and I almost felt like I was going to jump. I'm like, fuck, this is bullshit. I remember calling up my mum because I was only 18. I was sort of crying, going, "I can't believe they said I've come up positive." And she's like, "Well, how can you?" I said, "I haven't taken it." Whatever drug he said, I said, I didn't even know it was. So ended up, okay, I'll be a bigger person. I had a shower, went back to the night show, and people were like, "What happened?" And that night, I probably came home with 4 watches and tracks. All the other teams were just giving me gifts because they knew I got screwed. But my mum, she called the Institute of Sport in Australia, and they said, "Well, my son's just come up positive overseas. You tested him before he went twice, and he was negative. How could this be?" I said, "Well, it shouldn't be. We don't know." So they said, when he gets home, we can test him again. And my mum's like, "How much?" I think back then it was like $370. She's like, "Okay, we'll pay for it." And she's like, "Okay, but because he's a member of the IFBB, that's where we did it through before. You have to get their permission." So when I got home, Paul Graham said, "No, don't test him again." And they lost my B samples. So
Really?
It screwed you.
yeah, that was my first screwing from Dr. Bob Goldman. Every time I see him now, I'm still thinking, I haven't forgot. And who won it was,
Someone I know.
what's his name? Jose someone. I think he was going to retire that year. He was going to retire. It was his last show as an American, and he ended up winning it. I wish I could. My grandmother had the videos because they videoed it, and it's so funny. When you see me in the lineup, it's almost like how Keon stands out to everybody else. That's how I looked. So if you look at it, like, "Oh, Lee's definitely won it." But because I got disqualified. I couldn't.
So you live in Australia now. You still travel to the U.S., but like, what are you doing now with a lot of your time? I mean, I see you doing film
fishing
stuff.
in the backyard.
No, wait, I know. But
I just moved to a place. I got like 4 acres, and I got this big river in the backyard. So I sit out there fishing, and I should I go to the gym? Well, I get up at 3 a.m. every morning.
Yeah,
on
like,
the dot 3 a.m.
talk about that. Like, why?
Well, I've always used to get up at 4:35, but now I get up at 3 a.m. And my wife, she manages this tobacco shop. She starts at 5, so I'll get up at 3 o'clock, feed the cats. I got 7 cats and 2 dogs, so feed all the animals, and then I get her breakfast and coffee ready, then take her to work, and then I just go to the gym, and then come home and, I don't know, annoy people online.
Are you still like consider yourself a bodybuilder? I mean, do you still?
I've got so many little injuries at the moment. I'm at the point, like, if I go to, say Monday I go to the gym, I'm going to do chest. I might do dumbbell press and go, I'm bored. Then I'll go do a set of back, and then I'll go do a set of triceps. So
Yeah, but you're still holding a lot of size.
at the moment, I'm just doing like circuit type stuff. I'm thinking as long as I get a pump and don't get hurt, injured, that's a win for me. So
How many days a week? Because you're notorious for going
at least
7
5 or
days.
6.
Yeah,
Still
you like
5 or
me. I
6.
train almost every day.
The thing is, too, I have to do it first thing. If I try to do it later, I'll be like, if I go later on, I just won't go at all.
Talk about the TV thing you got going on over there. I see you doing all these different actor roles.
Oh, yeah, no, the last one I did was called Outback Comedian. There's an app on the phone. It's called like the number 7, then the word plus. It's 7 Plus app. Or the TV station's called the number 7 Mate, MATE. The last one I did is called Outback Comedian, where this guy's like a stand-up comedian. He does like the live shows, and I play his security. But as a running joke was because when he used to do his live stand-up, every time he needed his security, he wasn't there. He was off fucking around. So in the TV show, he does his stand-up, and when he needs me, I'm always off banging groupies and stuff. So for the whole show, I'm taking girls back to the hotel room.
And you wearing that security outfit and stuff like that? Or?
Pretty much just black clothes like a security person. And my wife, she's like, I hate that show because when I'm in her store, she's like, I see you on TV. And like, people come in, I saw your husband on TV taking those
So
girls.
it's like a cable network type thing? Or?
That's normal regular TV, yeah.
And do you have an agent that handles that for you? Or how do you get the bookings?
I think that people just get a hold of me somehow.
Network?
Yeah, so I don't know how. So that's why I said I don't go looking for it. But on that scene, I remember my wife getting up. She goes, how do you think I feel? People telling me they see you taking all these girls to the hotel rooms and this sort of stuff. I said, honey, if you're getting that upset, it just shows you what a good actor I am, doesn't it? But the TV show before that one, I played a parking ranger for 9 episodes where I'm just writing tickets to people and abusing them, swearing at them and going off. And then the one before that,
Where is this? I need to watch
Yeah,
this.
well, if you follow him on Instagram, you see some of the
and there's
stuff.
one called Fat Pizza. I was in 2 seasons of that where I'm the head of the white supremacist gang. So people that watch that, it's funny because they think it's real. I'll be walking down the street, people go, hey, white power. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's just a TV show.
And you're pretty recognizable, obviously.
Yeah, with the tattoo and that.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was, when we were filming that, we needed lots of guys with tattoos. So I had friends that were in bikie gangs, so they came down. And in between filming all this stuff, like, let's go get a coffee. So, go to Sydney. It's multicultural, all races. We go into the coffee shop. Everyone's like, I must be the muscles and tattoo. And I'm ordering the coffee, and the guy's just looking at me. He's like, yeah. I'm like, why is everyone fucking so weird? And I look down, I'm still wearing the fucking SS White Power T-shirt.
Oh, God.
Because I had one all day, I forgot I was wearing just a T-shirt. All of a sudden I realized, oh, fuck, I'm still wearing that. We walk out and the cop's driving by. He's looking like this. There's me in this Aryan Nation T-shirt and guys covered in tattoos.
Do you make money doing this?
Yeah, got paid pretty good, yeah. Yeah, but
what do you enjoy the most? I mean, do you still love the training much? Do you like doing that
I
kind of
think
thing?
training is like, I think you guys doing it so long, training becomes like breathing. It's almost like, even if I don't feel like it, I'll go because just mentally just gets me just starts my day off right. Even if I'm traveling, I'll use a hotel gym or something. Or I've had it where I've taken those rubber bands in the hotel room and done push-ups and stuff like that. And I just feel better if I go for a walk. Just if I do something in the morning, it just starts the day off right. And I just enjoy it. So,
but do you get shocked when you go to these gyms? Like I saw your UK tour and they got this mural of you and stuff.
yeah,
Does that
it's always
blow you
sweet,
away
yeah.
still? I mean, you come to Fit Club, you got a big picture on the wall with you and Platts.
And then
there.
the new tech gym is a big
next to me. Right?
I saw that.
I mean, how does it make you feel when
Why
you
is your
see that?
picture a little bit bigger than mine?
I do because I live here.
I have to get a new tech tattoo now.
Everybody said, well, Lee's the same height as Jay. Look at the picture on the wall.
Growth hormone.
I actually asked Chen, who is that? Because I wasn't sure.
That was actually a cover for.
I don't, because it has sunglasses on.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, it's a Chris Lund picture. Yeah, it's actually.
I could tell the legs though, because people don't realize how good your legs were. In the day.
It was a black and white picture, I think, originally, and the guy just put World Gym on it. It didn't have World Gym on the tank top at the time, but there's been a lot from overseas. There's a gym. I think you signed the wall. Is it Bulletproof Gym somewhere? They got my picture on the outside the wall where you drive up. Thought I saw you signing a wall there. I just find it weird because, like I said, to me, I just see myself as a larrikin type dickhead. I'm just the guy that trains. I don't
but
get
like
this
you
whole,
left a huge mark, and
which is weird. I don't understand. I still don't understand to this day because if I probably looked at myself, if I was looking at me, I'd probably think, God, that guy's a fucking loose
and
cannon.
what did these when you go on these seminars, like, and you tell because you're so like no filter.
Oh yeah.
Do people just die laughing?
Oh yeah, they do. Because normally I don't even talk about bodybuilding. It's just talking about life, and because I've been married 5 times, I'm giving relationship advice, and I'm talking about all this other shit. But like I said,
do you think it's your fault you've been married 5 times, or is it like?
No, a couple of them was like when I got with the girl, they had a job, but because I was making good money in that, I'm like, well, quit your job. If you just help me with meals and help me do like set up these things and that, because that way if I travel somewhere, I'll take you with me. So it just got to the point where, what's for dinner? You can have a bowl of cereal. It's like, when you start feeling like you're getting taken for granted, it's like, okay, I'm buying you whatever you want, taking you wherever you want, and you can't do anything for me anymore. So when you just feels like you're being taken for granted, that's why a lot of it. The only one I fucked up was Kathy, but the other one's just sort of.
But you're in a relationship now, and
yeah, I've been married 7 years now, so yeah.
And she understands your.
Yeah, she's not into bodybuilding because she likes to drink tequila and she smoked she vapes now, but she used to smoke and stuff.
So is she the one that kind of got you to loosen up a little bit and not? Because you never were a partier or anything.
No,
you never partied.
I was a girl before that, but when I was getting ready for the universe, I met a girl. Up until 42, I never drank, never done any drugs apart from steroids.
Yeah.
And she introduced me to cocaine. So, like I said, I've never had an addictive personality, so I don't do it once every 6 months, but I'm like, if I do it, I do it. So, you've heard the story of the coffee table and the penis and all that sort of stuff. But it's amazing. I get so many young kids come up, hey, Lee, I tried putting the vodka up my ass like you did. And then I was like, you shouldn't follow what I do. Just because I'm telling a story doesn't mean.
Yeah, sometimes, like your mom said, probably you shouldn't tell like the honest truth everywhere.
It's like I remember telling.
Did you know that? Do you know these stories?
I blame my mum because where did I tell this? I think it's it wasn't in the documentary, but I said I blame my mum because one day I came home from school. You know, like how women wax now. Waxing just come out. I wasn't even competing yet, so I must have only been 10 or 9. And you put a little bit of wax on, you pull it off. I come home from school, and there's my mum. It's like a floor like this. And she's sitting on the kitchen floor naked. I'm like, what's that on your legs? From her hip to her ankle. She boiled up the whole thing of wax and covered her legs from all the way. So the wax had run down off her legs and stuck it to the floor. So I said, you imagine being 10 years old, coming home, and there's your mother stuck naked on the kitchen floor. I got to go over there, heating up a spatula, trying to get my mother off the floor. Finally get her in the bath, and the water had to be that hot. She's trying to pick it off her legs. Her legs are bleeding and all this sort of stuff. I said, I was traumatized from that, so I blame my mother for fucking me up.
So talk about Australia. Like, you live there now. Do you ever miss the USA?
I miss like the people, like, seeing you and people like that, because, you make friendships.
Yeah,
and
of course.
Stuff. So being a long way away, it's always hard doing like that. I saw like seeing Paul today. Like, we keep in contact online, but that's the first time I've seen Paul in probably 20 years.
He's surprising how he looks now compared to what he.
Yeah, how big he was. Yeah. But I said it's still the same guy to me. I know people. Yeah. That's the thing too. When people go, look at Arnold now. I'm like, oh, you think Arnold's going to look like he did when he was in the 72s now? It's like, to me, Arnold looks great now. And people go, look at Stallone now. It's like, he still looks great.
Does Paul look taller to you than 6'1"?
Yeah, he does. Because he's like a bit thinner now. He looks. I think when he was more muscular, he looked a bit stockier. Yeah, but I think he's still around. I said, hey, if he's still around, I think
I saw something. He said he lied. He's really 6'3". He just didn't want to say it when it was.
Yeah, but he's taller than 6'1".
Yeah, he is. Huh?
Yeah. Well, everyone's taller than me.
I've seen him. I don't know him, but I don't know him like that.
Everyone's taller than me, so it doesn't matter. And I'm 5'5.5".
What do you think about who's the best 212 bodybuilder ever?
You'd have to say.
I asked Keon this.
You'd have to probably say Flex because he won so many. But to me.
But we have a lot of guys that were 212, bro, that weren't weighed in on 212.
Well, you have Sean Ray. Sean Ray, yeah. You have Sean Ray. And
how would have Flex and Sean Ray done?
I think Sean, as good as Flex was, there's just something about Sean, because I think even 96, I thought Sean could have won the Olympia back then.
People forget, don't they? Yeah.
Yeah, I think, and it's even like this, the quality of the muscle even back then, because I remember Serge Nubray come to Australia, and before he guest posted, he walked through the audience and he just had this like full one-piece jumpsuit on. I'm like,
Didn't look like much, right?
Whatsoever. Yeah, look, you could tell he was in shape. All of a sudden, he comes out the guest pose and the spotlight hit me. I'm like, where the fuck did all that shit come from? And for a guy that wasn't that heavy, just a slab of muscle. That's the thing, too, I think, how people trained back then. Because you look at Serge Nubret, Arnold, Sergio, Bertle, Fox, all these guys that did the heavy work, trained for hours, the muscle quality was so much different to the guys. Now, like, the guys now look good, but the muscle looks a bit, I don't know, back then it just looked like granite, like slabs.
Free weight.
Even Serge Nubret's chest, it just looked like slabs of meat, his abs. The whole muscle quality just looks so different. And they trained, I remember talking to Arnold sometimes, he goes, sometimes they train 3 times a day. They'll train, go eat, go to the beach, eat, come back and train, then maybe go again, eat and come back again, whereas that'd be unheard of now. It's like crazy.
Yeah, when I saw Lee Labrada, he guest posed at a show I did when I was a teenager, and I remember he walked in a white button-up shirt and jeans, because these guys showed up like really, some people were super professional, and I remember thinking, as a teenager, I hadn't seen anybody yet. He was the first guy, I think I might have met Ron Love, but he was, I was like, man, he's kind of small.
Oh, yeah.
But then he took his, when I, like, oh, you got to see him pose, so everyone clutters to go see, you know, this time when you sell tickets, and guest pose would sell a lot. I'm like, holy shit! Like, I couldn't believe how good he looked. Isn't it?
I remember, it's funny, I was 17. I just won the Australia. I was getting ready for the Australia, and it must have just been after the Olympia. And he came out to guest pose in Australia, and I was guest posing too.
Brada did?
And because I was in shape, he got mad at the promoter.
Really?
He goes, he looks better than me. Yeah, so he got mad, He got mad at the promoter because it smoothed out a bit from the Olympia. And that's the thing, if you're a smaller guy that you smooth out, you don't look as impressive when you're in shape, I think. Because you look at Clarita, you wouldn't think he's 180.
Yeah, of course.
And stuff like that. And little Brad, even though he was only like, wasn't he only like 186 or 190? But yet, on stage, he held his own. You couldn't tell
Lee
what
Haney
weight. Yeah.
was like a freak at the time.
And I said, I guess you get on good. But even, like I said, the older guys, Mike Christian, how he used to look back in the day, people forget about these guys who, the quality of muscle just seemed different to what it is now.
You guys had such a great camaraderie at Gold's Venice, I feel like, in those 90s.
Yeah, but now, and I remember, like I said, Chris tells that story where he wanted to beat me up that one time because there was a rumour going around, and I asked Lonnie, I said, that rumour about Chris, is that true? And somehow I got back to Chris that I started it. I was at the firehouse, and I was just about to eat my meal, and
I heard this,
What the fuck happened? You're talking shit about me. I'm like, what are you talking about? He started yelling at me, and I remember there was some family with kids in there looking over. So finally, he called me later and he apologised when he found out what really happened. But ever since then, Chris and I got on great, and we're probably more close now. We sort of talk online and WhatsApp all the time. And
why are you advertising Gold's Gym now?
Oh, that's a guy just opened up 2 Golds in Australia. Just wanted me to go up and do like a video for him.
Okay.
So just went up there to the top of Australia and just did some promo video for the gym. So,
but Gold's Gym took care of you when they negated your entry to Gold's Gym at one point.
Yeah,
didn't
that's
they?
funny because I was like, I went in there.
Okay.
The thing was, but I went. I paid. The thing was, I didn't complain. I just went in there and paid because
how much was it? 50 or 30 or?
I think it was 30 back then.
Yeah.
Because I just went. I paid it.
So would you walk up to the desk and say, "Hey, how much for a day pass?" I walk up and say,
I do. Yeah, I do because I'm not one of those people. Do you know who I am? I don't like that type of thing. And most of the time when I do pay, because normally it's just a young kid on the counter. They don't follow bodybuilding, so you can't be like, you know who I am. So I paid, and then somebody asked me, or someone saw me paying, and then they put it online. Can you believe they charged Lee? I didn't say nothing about it. And then whoever those new managers were, they started getting so much hate, phone calls and emails and that. So I was like, Lee, I'll give you, I haven't got my wallet. It's a black VIP card.
Yeah.
And then when I was there only 2 years ago, he's like, Lee, yes, I'm still getting fucking hate emails. Still to this day, they're still abusing him for charging me. But I've never, like I said, I've never been one of those. I just go into a gym and pay. And generally too, once you are, and if the owner does see you, oh, here's your money back. I know you keep it. Like I don't like that sort of thing.
With the fans, Lee could never do wrong. If he got screwed over, they were all like, he had the best cheering section. I know, but you were just brutally honest, and I think, being authentic, it means a lot to a lot of people, and I think that's why you were so popular and still popular today, because you just don't give a fuck at all.
How does it feel when you go to some of these expos and like 15-year-old kids come up to you and you're like, how do you know me?
Well, I think a lot of it too came from, because I think Sam Sulak mentioned me a fair bit, because he was a fan, and then the Trend Twins, and Monday I'm putting the Trend Twins through a workout. So
you're going to love that. They were so excited. He told me.
And I think because I'm thinking, because some of these kids, I'm thinking, you weren't even born when I did my last show, so it's just weird that these young kids know who you are. And then I think, then they see some of my interviews, and they go, oh, fuck, he's out there type thing. So
after we filmed the Trend Twins, you left. and they were like, who would you like to meet? Like, God, we love to meet Lee Priest. So we FaceTimed him, and they got to sit here and see him, and they're just staring at the phone like, can you get a workout in? And they're like, absolutely. Jay and Trent and Lee are our two favorite people.
We're gonna go to Fit Club Monday morning at 9
Yeah,
o'clock.
it's funny because I think I mentioned something about you and that you were possibly coming, and they acted like surprised that I actually knew you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think they're surprised, like when you idolize someone, like, oh yeah, I know that guy, and they're like, what, really? You talk to him? And I'm like,
I think a lot of the young guys don't know the history and know that the guys in the 90s and early 2000s.
Well, we have so much
it's a big
respect for
family.
each other, right? I mean, even if we weren't like close then, like it's like you grow older and you appreciate everyone's role a little different. I mean, I remember I was just like thinking at the time I remember being at the Arnold Lee, and you were like, they're like, you need to fill out your tax form, and you're like, I don't pay taxes. I don't have to fill it out. And I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's got balls, you know? The girl didn't know what to say.
I'm from Australia. I don't have a tax number.
Yeah, he goes, I don't pay taxes. And he said it in like smart ass and walked away. And the girl's like, okay. You know? But Lee, it was like,
I'm Wesley Snipes. Fuck off. But then eventually I did.
You got in trouble, huh?
Well, the thing was, I didn't pay it for years because I'm thinking, well, I didn't have my green card yet. I was still in that process. So I was still paying tax back. I said, why am I going to pay tax here if I don't get the green card? Fuck it. And so I eventually got my green card, and then I got hit, you owe 100,000 back taxes. So I had a tax attorney. I was paying it back, but I didn't realize that, say you owe 100,000, but that year you only pay back 40. Come next tax season, they add more interest back on again. So I might have gone from 100 down to 40,000, but now it's back up to 75 again. So I got to the point where, fuck it, I'm not going to pay it at all. So I stopped.
So did you have to pay it from the time you got it or from the time you filed?
I think they went back on different stuff because I think with the checks they were filed, so they knew what had been paid and then stuff like that. So yeah,
it's all weird with the tax treaties.
I was never getting hit. You just get it down low, and then if you have it, because normally if say you had 40,000 left, they wanted you to pay it all at the end of that year. If not, they put the interest back on it, so you go down, then it goes up, then it goes down, then it goes up. So I'm like, oh fuck it.
Are you still signing deals? You still have contracts that you
here and there, yeah. So still making a living. So just
like you care, Lee? Do you like think about?
No,
you think about 10 years from now, or do you just say?
I keep thinking about I'd like to go get a normal job. Like actually, because I played the park and ranger in that TV show, like this is a fucking cool job. I can do cardio, walk around, write people tickets.
So would you work
abuse
right now?
Yeah.
You would?
Yeah.
You ever get bored, like being at home and just going to the gym every day? And
sometimes.
I mean, I know you're doing a lot of podcasts.
Then I got to find something to do, or I might go online and
just fuck with people online.
I do. I troll people a lot, and I always tell people too. It's like I'm always guilty. I always tell people about these are people I don't even know, and I'm sitting there for hours abusing them. And like, fuck, I haven't called my mum or text her in 3 days.
And you don't hide behind any name, right? You just say Lee Priest.
I always get abused by. Well, my first Instagram account, I was near 1 million people, and I'd get into arguments, and I went to log on one day. Instagram just deleted my whole account, started again, got near 50,000.
Well, because you can't even call anyone like a pig or anything anymore. They
got thrown in Facebook jail.
Yeah.
Because I said you're a pig 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden they're like, they showed this comment.
Suppressed it, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just got last week, I got 3 emails saying my comments had been removed, or then.
Because you can't say anything.
Well, I called someone a clown and put a clown emoji, and then I got, this is hate speech.
Yeah.
This is a hate.
Well, they report it, I think, sometimes.
Yeah. And I think it's a bot too, because sometimes I have like thought it, send in a dispute, and they've actually re-put my thing back up there, because I think bots probably pick it up the first time, and then when you dispute it, someone actually looks at it.
Do you remember when Lee thought I was mad at him because I didn't follow him because his page got deleted so many times? I'm like, I just can't keep up with it anymore. He's like, Matt doesn't like me. And I was like, no, I didn't know you had a new page.
Yeah, well, I thought that. I think it was Scott told me once. I remember you came out to Scottsdale once. I thought I had to ask Jay, was it true or not? Because you came into Gold's Gym at Scottsdale.
Were you living there?
Yeah. I was
really?
I went there after Texas for a couple of years.
Okay, guys, I came down for I do that. They had this one-stop nutrition store I used to come down for.
Yeah. So you walked in the Gold's, and I'm like, hey, Jay, and you went, get walking. I'm like, oh, fuck, I know I'm short, but he must have been able to see me. And as you were leaving, I went, hey, Jay, and you just walked past me. I went, And that's when you in part. Remember when Scott was at Max Muscle? Scott, who?
Yeah.
And I think you and Max Muscle with him there. And Scott goes, "Did you see Jay?" I said, "Yeah, I saw him, but he didn't talk to me. He just sort of."
I don't know how I couldn't have seen you.
That's the thing. But then I said to Scott, Scott goes, "Well, I'll ask him." And Scott came back and I said, "Did you ask him?" He goes, "Yeah." I said, "Why?" He goes, "Jay said it wouldn't look good if he was seen talking to a suspended athlete." I'm like,
No,
I'm like, that asshole.
No, that's a lie. You know, Scotty liked to lie.
I said, "So what is he?" I've been thinking, that
You're
asshole.
No, man, I don't give a shit about suspended.
I think fucking that
Yeah,
prima.
you tried to sue him.
Yeah, I like that prima donna fucking not saying hello to me.
You lived in Arizona too?
Yeah, for like 3 years.
You lived everywhere.
4 years, yeah.
Did you like Arizona?
It wasn't bad. Then I moved. That's when I moved from there back home. Yeah, so yeah.
How do you like Vegas?
I don't mind it. Yeah, it's good. I like
They
it.
treat you
'cause-
well here?
Yeah, I like it. If I trained here, like I said, I like probably out of order, even though all the new clubs are nice, I think I like Fit Club the best still. I like some of the older equipment. It just has a different feel.
They
to
love
it.
you over there, bro. Like Vinny was so excited when you were coming.
Yeah, it's nice there. So, like the new tech gym's nice and the new equipment. But to me, I like just like old.
You know, that used to be
equipment.
Gold's Gym Eastern is what it was, yeah.
I remember the old Golds on Flamingo used to be good. You leave there and
Yeah,
go.
it
Was
was
it the?
great.
We're super spoiled here.
Was it the
So
blue?
many gyms.
Was it Blueberry Hill Pancake?
Yeah,
Place?
next door, right there. Yeah.
yeah.
He still goes there once in a while.
Yeah.
Does, yeah.
Is it still there?
Because the breakfast is super cheap there. You can get like
Well, my favourite was IHOP. Every time I come to Vegas, IHOP, I would always get the T-bone steak and eggs and those thin lemon vanilla crepe ones with the icing sugar on them and stuff. I remember you were
There's-
when we did that seminar here when we came out with Guy and them.
Yeah.
I gave you that cookie and Jay's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
eating. He's like, "Well, this has got a lot of sugar in it." And he disappeared. Did you go spit that out?
No, I gotta take a piss.
He's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"This has lots of sugar in it." I'm like, "Oh, it's not the first time Jay had fucking sugar."
But he got you to eat McDonald's today.
Where's your next trip? So you go
India.
staying in the so you staying in the States though, or you going back?
No, I'm staying. Yeah, I'm going back. I'm going, like I said, Nashville and then on to New York. New
So
Jersey.
from here you're going.
Yeah, Nashville and then
So you're-
Jersey.
okay.
And then on the 20th, I fly from Jersey back to Vegas. I get here at like 11, but I don't fly out to 8 o'clock at night. So I'll be here just for a day till I fly out. Then I'm home for like 2.5 weeks and go to India. I've been to Europe twice and Amsterdam and then England, Ireland, and that twice this year doing seminars. So that was pretty good. I did like probably 10 seminars in 2 weeks through England.
You enjoy it?
Yeah, it's good. That's the other thing. Like I love living in Australia, but even going to Europe just takes so long. It's almost like by the time I get up in the morning and get to that country, because I can't sleep on planes, even in business class. And like a year ago, I went to Russia. They flew me first class. That was good. They come past like, "You would like to have a shower?" I'm like, "There's a shower on the plane?" As I'm in the shower, I'm like, if I hit turbulence right now, this is going to be quite fun, isn't it?
So you
hit your head.
you flew coach here?
Yeah, coach here. Yeah. But I had a spare seat beside me, so I'm like, "Oh, that's cool." So yeah, I'm back in.
I'm spoiled like us, huh?
Yeah, you prima donnas. I'm back in. I'm back with the real people, Jay.
You know, I always say this. I flew coach more when I was Mr. Olympia than now.
But the thing I love about even not the business class itself, it's just the business class lounges, even like Turkish Airlines. When I flew them going to Amsterdam, just the food, I'm like, this is the best food ever.
Everything food.
So there's a story why he doesn't fly it anymore. So we went to Dubai like maybe 6 years ago, and the number all in was how much it was for business. He's like, "We're flying economy." So I flew economy from Canada to Dubai, and he goes to get on the
But
plane.
it's Emirates, which is good
On
economy.
Emirates. He goes to get on the plane. He's walking him back, and he said, right as he sat down, some guy yells out, "Hey, Jay Cutler, why are you back here in economy with us?" So we had Wi-Fi on the planes, and he's messing me. He's like, "This seat sucks. You did this to me. I'm never flying this again. Never again." And we've never
Should have
flown
just said,
those.
I'm like you, I'm just one of the people.
It's too long.
You just
15
buy that
hours.
too
yeah.
far. Oh.
Well, like I said, when I used to go to Brazil, when I was with Black Skull, they'd sometimes fly me, like I'd go like Sydney to Dubai, then Dubai to something. By the time I got there, it was almost 40 hours traveling. And then a few times then I'd go from Sydney to New Zealand to Chile, then Chile across the thing. And have you ever flown across the Andes? You talk about, that movie Live where the plane crashes and they eat each other. I start looking at people thinking, who the fuck am I going to eat? Because this plane's going, the turbulence is like bang, bang, bang. You look out there and you see this wing. I'm thinking, how much stress can this wing take? We're going down. So
A lot.
I'm sizing up people who I'm going to eat.
When I looked over to him, we were flying one time, and I said,
We're going to Switzerland.
I'm like,
yeah.
"Bro, we gonna crash? Like, because this is bad."
I've hit some bad turbulence in my life, and we were right smack dab in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean.
Oh, yeah.
And we were both sleeping, and we woke up, and we had they actually upgraded us to first class from business. And I sit there and I hear, and the little thing comes down, and he sits up. He's like, yo, is this plane going down? Fuck, we can't do anything.
So get on
And you feel so like
I know you get
helpless.
helpless.
You know?
Get on the Wi-Fi. That's the thing. Like I've always said, because when I used to race cars or in the car, at least if the car engine stops, you can pull over. If this engine stops, there's only one way. But I always figured the thing that would annoy me would be all the pricks screaming. It's like, just, we're going to die. Just take it like a man and fucking shut up. We're going, everyone screaming would annoy me more. But then I start thinking, if we do go down, do I have Wi-Fi connection so I can quickly, goodbye.
Yeah, exactly.
Goodbye, everyone. So, yeah, but some of those flights you go. I remember once I went on a flight to Palm Springs. You know, sometimes you get those updrafts.
Yeah, of course.
Southwest, the plane's like this, and all of a sudden, no word of a lie went for that, and went, shit, almost completely side on. People started screaming and shit. I'm like, God, we're going down into just over going to Palm Springs. So I've had a few flights, but I remember flying Aeroflot, that one in Russia.
Yeah.
We're on the European
Seat
tour.
lift up.
I mean, like, this plane smelled like kerosene. They had like curtains. They didn't have the old windows pulled down. It was the curtain and stuff. And then I looked up that they'd crashed a few times. One time they crashed because a pilot let his daughter come up in flight a plane and it went down. Another time it ran out of fuel. I'm thinking, holy fuck, Wayne's got us on this plane type of shit.
Tour, yeah.
Then I had to laugh at Wayne because we were on a bus and we were all talking about we're tired and this sort of stuff. And Wayne's like, guys, I understand how you feel. I just brought a new leather couch. I haven't even had a chance to sit on it. I'm like, yeah, Wayne, that's really, really the same. And maybe we went to Russia. And I think over in Russia back then, the mafia pretty much ran the bodybuilding. And you didn't have to go through customs. Guys with guns turn up. You bypass customs. We got on the bus and they said, we're going to a restaurant. And you go to this restaurant, it looks like a scene from The Sopranos. It just looks like mafia in there. But before we got there on the bus, and Wayne's like, the guys would like to go to the hotel first and freshen up. And this Russian's like, we're going to the restaurant. Wayne's like, but the guys would like to go to the thing. And this big Russian just stood up. He was like 6'5". He's like, there is no compromise. We're going to the restaurant. Wayne's like, okay.
Let me ask you this. Do you think bodybuilding will ever get back to Australia?
I know Tony's trying to, but I know with the COVID and that, and then with the Arnold, I think maybe financially it hurt him a bit there and stuff type of thing. So I'm not sure what happened there. So I'm not sure if it ever will or not. So it's a shame because...
Is the community big there? Like, is bodybuilding...
not as
I
big
feel like
as
the
here.
kids always trained. Like, I remember before social media now, like he just asked, like, you surprised when the 15-year-old kids come to see you. But
yeah.
I feel like now with social media, the kids are getting into it a lot earlier now, where I felt like we were like outcasts when we started at 15 or 18. But I was always shocked at how young the kids were that came to see me and how actually in shape they were.
Yeah, but even now, like I said, it's hard because you see a lot of young kids now, and I just hope, because I've always said when you're young at that age, they want to get on gear or their mate gets on. I'm like, you got to be patient. And it's like, that's when especially when you're young in your teen years, your testosterone level's that high anyway. You shouldn't be taking anything that's going to shut your natural production down. I know you want to be impatient, but when you're young, you just be patient. It's going to do that like 5 to 7 years foundation work before you even touch a drug. And it's like I told someone, I said, the guys come up, I want to be a pro, I want to be this. How can I do it? I said, listen, if you just eat right, sleep right, if you commit to it and you want to be serious about it, I said, if you have what it takes, you'll know. Because you could see 4 guys go to the gym as mates, they all train the same, eat the same, but one of them would he has the genetics. Yeah. Everyone would be like, oh, he must be on gear, look at him. It's like, you'll know if you have what it's like any sport, if you've got the God-given talent for it.
You got the goods.
You got the goods. And like I said, no drug, you can't turn shit into gold. I don't care what you say. Yes, you can take gear, maybe put a bit of weight on a muscle, but to be a top athlete in anything, drugs aren't going to be the answer. You got to have what it takes naturally first, and then they would just assist you.
Yeah.
But everyone, all these young kids now, I think they're getting impatient because of the look they want all the time on social media and stuff, and this sort of thing. I think they don't have the patience.
It's a lot of pressure though for these kids on social media because they always put their highlight reels, right?
Oh yeah, and that's the thing too, because they're always posting all the time. Here's another thing. It is another thing at that. It's like, my God, it's like overkill. But yet, I guess some of them trying to be influencers, or they think they can get attention. And there was that one young kid, I forget his name, something English. He's really bulked up and young, looks like he's on gear. And I just made a comment once about, I hope you just do it safely, this and that. And he just abused the hell out of me. I was like, do you know who you're abusing and stuff? Because it was lifting really bad too. He was going super heavy and bad form, and he's only like 18. I'm like, God, you're going to hurt yourself or do damage. And he just wrote back and started abusing the hell out of me. I even had a guy once sent me a thing, because you probably get it too. Do you think I have what it takes? Can I do this? You're like, oh, how do I answer this and be nice? And this one guy sent me a thing. He was in his 5th year of medical school. His parents were doctors and that. He's like, but I want to quit and be a bodybuilder and that. Here's my photos. What do you think? And I looked at him and I'm like, he had like, you could tell he trained, but he's never going to be a pro. And I just said, listen, you look good. Just keep training, be healthy. But if you've come that far already, become a doctor. Do what I said.
Day job.
No, you can still train and become good and excel at what you're doing, but I don't think you're going to be a good pro. Well, didn't I get, fuck you, go to hell? I'm like, Jesus, I was just being honest with you. And
Okay, well then quit medical school and be a...
yeah, I said, okay, then go do it then. So I never heard back. Said, I don't whatever become of him, but like I said, you always try and give someone credit and give them good thing. But I always just said, if you have what it takes, it will happen. It'll just happen. You won't have to force it, because how many guys have you seen over the years who say, I want to be a pro, especially at Golds? They'll be living in their car or vans. 5 years goes past, they're still in the same spot, abusing the gear. Some people wouldn't even get a job because they have to train, eat and sleep. They won't get in a relationship. They let all this stuff go by. 15 years later, they're still pumping the gear, still in the same spot. I'm like, you got to be a realist with yourself. It's like, look, if you want to train or whatever, that's fine, but you got to, if you can't be a bodybuilder, you're going to have to get a normal job. I'm sorry to tell you that, but I've seen tons of people waste their life thinking they can do it. 20 years later, they are still there, or some of them sadly have died because they've just pushed the envelope that hard, like all or nothing. And they have that attitude, I don't care if I die. You know, I think some of us when we were younger too, we thought that, but as you get older, you're like, hey.
Of course, yeah.
As I said, now I'm in my 50s, I'm like, I want to get to 60. When you're young, you're at 30, like, I don't care if I'm dead at 40. But as you get to 50, you're like, I want to get to 60. I want to get to 70. So you want to go as far as you can now. So it's crazy.
I have one more question for you. The famous ProLab image.
Oh, yeah, the David Paul one, the boxing bag.
Do you own the rights to it?
No, I think David Paul did, but
like that
before he passed away, he said I can use them anytime I want and stuff like that. He'd give me the.
I feel like that picture inspired millions and millions of people. Hopefully you can add it in.
It inspired people to buy the high tops atomic shoes.
Of course, but you know what, Lee, that inspired so many people around the world, and I feel like I have this quad stomp, and I have this quad, the MD cover, right? Everyone knows it. So I feel like that image of you is like one of the most iconic pictures. Like we have the Dorian Yates black and white photos in Flex. I have the quad stomp, and I feel like that was 2 weeks before the 98 Olympia, and that was taken about 2 in the afternoon. And at 10 a.m., I ate a bucket of Kentucky chicken before that photo shoot. And we were actually downtown in his warehouse, because you know David Paul, with him, he'd go in the weirdest places. It'd be like, "Do not enter, Dave. We can't go in." Yeah, we can. Come on. And we were at the photo shoot down there, and we were doing the boxing bag ones. All of a sudden, the cop cars pull up. I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. And these policemen come in. Oh, are you Lee Priest? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, how'd you know? They said, that's when I had the black Dodge Viper. Yeah. They said, oh, you were at the firehouse yesterday, and some officers were there and met you, and they told us you had a black Viper, so we put 2 and 2 together. So until they knew it was us, they were going to kick us out, but then they knew it was us, and David, Paul and I, we took lots of photos with the police and that as well in there and stuff, so they let us stay in there. But a couple of times we'd go places and David's like, do this, do that. Because you had a lot of iconic pictures with him that he took
thousands
around that time.
with him. We'd go into the bush. There's this fort up in a mountain somewhere. We took heaps there. Another time we took my dog and the Humvee out to the desert and stuff like that. So yeah, we had a lot of good photos. And then, like I said, we're in that coffee table book. We did that picture of me on the cover of the book. It looks like I'm holding the world, but that was that place. Did you ever take you to that place in Palmdale?
Yeah,
the white walls.
Yeah, I stood on the ball for the 01 Olympia, and it looks like I'm in the air and whatever. I did the same thing holding. Yeah, so, the O sign. I was the O sign.
I read that story too. I remember he had to buy the whole word. I know he wanted the O, but he had to buy. I forgot the whole word was, but he had to buy every letter to get the O.
They had the crane, there, and I actually got underneath it. And to think about that shit now, it's like
I actually have the Photoshop version of that.
Really?
And the funny thing, good thing about Dave too was remember how everything's so computerized now. But remember he would have that little Polaroid. Take a photo and then he'd put it into. You'd have that little liquid. You have to wait till it developed, and you'd pull it out and go, "Okay, that looks good."
It's pretty genius.
What's the lady's name that was with him? She was like Indian, Native American Indian. I thought it sadly passed away from cancer.
It wasn't Annalise, right? No,
that's Joe Whedon's secretary. I can't remember her name, but she was so cool. I used to get on really good with her, and but some of the crazy photo shoots whatever of him were just. But I enjoyed it because you're probably like me. How many times can you do a barbell curl, dumbbell?
But you know what's funny is back then, Lee, we didn't think those would be iconic as they are today, right? No. And I kind of almost regret thinking, oh shit, I got to do this shoot.
I know.
Because we just wanted to eat and we wanted to compete and whatever. So it's like, oh, we got to go do this photo shoot. But
that's like a lot of my photo shoots. I'll always do them leading up to the show. 2 weeks out, I'll do them because I could squeeze and pose because when the show's over, I'm going to eat. So even that picture on Muscle and Fitness, the people where I've got my arms up, the black and white one leaning on the bar or gym. That was just taken, Artie Zell would always walk around with his camera, a little box camera. him and Jerry Fredericks. And I was just doing triceps one day out there. It's like, take your shirt off. I was doing triceps. And then in between, I just rested on the bar. He went click. And that became a cover. And then we tried to recreate it, could never do it. Like, how many pictures did you see that Artie took of Arnold where he's just leaning over something? And those photos become iconic. The ones you don't pose for or set up become the most famous pictures of all.
You know, the one hanging on, like him and Franco leaning on the bar at Venice Beach. Yeah.
There's that one too. Did you ever see it? I was taking a Club Metrics down there. I'm sitting outside on a little deck chair, just sitting like that, and all the abs and veins are everywhere. I think Chris Lund just be sitting in the sun having a break, and it became this great picture where, like I said, the ones you pose for sometimes never turn out.
Did you get excited when you went to Chris Lund photo shoots because he'd give you kind of like feedback on?
I would, but he'd always want you to go heavy. How much heavy can you go?
Yeah, but you were strong as shit.
Yeah, but then the thing with him was like, I got to the point where like, Chris, I'm just going to do the exercise because in the beginning he'd be like, say you had like 180-pound dumbbells, you'd be here. Okay, bring it down a little. Stop there. Okay, now go back up an inch. Now come back down. I'm like, fuck. I'm just going to train. You just snap away.
So Gold's Venice had what, 180s?
Yeah.
Or they have 200s?
180. When I went
pressed those though.
Yeah, when I went to Worlds, Joe made me 200-pound dumbbells.
So when you talk about the strength of guys, he was cranking that shit out. I remember them. Steve Neese would put it in. The gossip.
And Steve Neese would always come around too. Steve Neese, he was always famous for that. Lee, how big are your arms? I'd be like 21. Out comes the tape. I'm like, off you go. Yeah. So many other guys would be like, oh, no, you can't. I'd be like, what do you weigh? You tell him, go get on the scale. So one time I lied to him. I said I was such and such. And when he wasn't looking, I put like a 10-pound plate down my pants. I hopped on. He goes, oh, you really are? But that was funny because I said, you always have Steve Neese walking around, Jerry Fredericks, Artie Zeller, Paula Crane.
Because you were always in those.
Yeah, Paula Crane
I
was
used
there.
to read that when I was in Massachusetts and say, oh, Lee's up to this.
Oh, yeah, I know. I used to read that to find out what I was up to after.
Yeah.
I'm like, I didn't really do that. Yeah, but was that the Venice something or
I forget. It was
Muscle Mag. Yeah,
around the something around
Iron Man had one too, and then Muscle Mag had one.
What it was called, but it was Steve had a good calm. Yeah. Obviously, he passed away, and
did Paula Crane? Did she pass away? Is she?
I don't know. She's still alive.
Because she used to always be around. Always doing.
I saw Jerry Brainham. Remember he was 50, but I just saw him at Gold's when I trained there.
What about Julian Schmidt? Is he still? He's had the big cowboy hat on.
I don't know if he's still around.
It's funny because we talk about photoshopping. I remember once I was up there because I always go up and talk to Peter McGough because him being English and that, and he'd always like me when I'd go off in the magazines like as a typical Australian. And I remember once they had a cover of Flex, and Flex Wheeler was on it. I couldn't believe it. They were like making his waist smaller. I'm like, he's already got a fucking small waist. Like, why are you making his waist even smaller? So
you called out nowadays.
Oh yeah, Photoshop.
Who do you think's the greatest bodybuilder of all time? Who do you think has the best body?
Yeah, I'd say that. I always hate saying who's the best because every era is different. But I'd probably say Ronnie. I know Arnold did a lot.
Yeah, but who has the nicest
physique that you thought was the best? Not
who do you think,
what they did show us.
People say Flex Wheeler, right? Because he had like
even like if I was to go back Flex a little bit, I would to go back to even like I said, someone like Serge Nubret.
Yeah.
When people who don't know who he is, if you look him up, his abs, his chest, and his arms, they're just like almost perfect. Just the way it all flowed and that sort of thing.
Because everyone's opinion's different.
Yeah, but it's even like now with the Olympia, like when you were competing and everyone's competing and someone goes, who's the best Mr. Olympia? To me, it's like, if you're in the Olympia and you're in the top 5 or top 6, you're all Mr. Olympia. Yeah. I know there can be only one, but to me, it's like you'd have Jay and then somebody else. And to me, everyone's different. So Jay looks his best and so does this guy. To me, it's like I used to go to car shows. Let's just say you had like 10 Ferraris, all the same model. Which is the best? Okay, you start looking at this interior is a bit cleaner, this paint job's a bit better. Because everything's the same.
Yeah.
But when everyone's different, it's like, then it's just the judge's opinion. He might like that blocky physique and freaky type. Someone likes the more symmetrical type. So to me, I know there has to be a winner, but to me, all the guys are champions if you're up.
Yeah, I always wondered, like, because Arnold, like, respectfully, people have to say, oh, Arnold was ahead of his time, or Serge Leva was ahead of his time.
I even love Platt. I became good friends with Platt. I trained with Platts for a year, and to me, I love Platt's physique, even though his legs were huge and shit. I just like that, looked like a He-Man doll type thing. And like I said, I liked Eddie Robinson because he had the big arms and the big legs and stuff. Yeah, is he still? I haven't seen it.
But he was great as a teenager. All these guys were really good. Victor Terra was an amazing teenage
body. Thing too, I don't know what it's wrong now because even, like I said, back in our day, guys were turning pro young. And like I said, that's why I hate now with so many pro cards. It's like, someone gets a pro card now, like, when you're going to compete next? Oh, I need 2 or 3 years off to get size. It's like, you weren't ready.
Yeah,
what's back in our day, only one guy would get a pro card, so everybody else had to train another year. he had another year of training. And back then, when you got your pro card, you're pretty much ready to get on the pro stage. I think Kevin got second in his first Olympia and stuff because you're ready to step on that stage because they handed them out.
And Wheeler did too.
Yeah, because they hand them out so often now. These guys just aren't ready. And like, you feel bad because you look at me like, well, you look like a bad amateur. Like I said, a good amateur, I mean, not a top pro. And you feel bad saying that, but they're just not ready to get the pro card. Look, when they have a show and they say, look, this is the pro qualifier, to me, the judges know what pro standard is. If you're at the pro standard, give them the pro card. If you know they're not ready to get on the pro stage,
nobody turns pro this year.
No one turns pro. We used to have a federation in Australia. The guy that run it, let's just say there's 2 people in the class, and you weren't that good. He'd give second or third. He wouldn't give first place. He goes, because if someone turned up in good shape, you wouldn't have won. So you could have 2 people in it. Even one person, you get second place.
We say that every once in a while. There'll be someone will turn pro, and we'll look at them and be like, they wouldn't have won a local show 10 years ago.
No.
Now they're a pro bodybuilder.
Well, to me too, it's like back then, like even before I was pro, if you saw someone that came from overseas to guest pose, or if you went to gold, you'd be like, fuck, he's pro. Just the look of him, you knew. When you're going to tell someone you're a pro, people come up to me, hey, Lee, I'm pro. I'm like, what, darts? Fucking lawn bowls? What are you pro at? Oh, no, bodybuilding. Or you got to put pro in the title, IFBB pro such and such. It's like, if you've got to tell someone, then, maybe you shouldn't be a pro yet type thing. So, but it's weird because.
Or like, I'm like, hey, you look really good. When's your next show? And I'm like, oh, you doing the USA? Like, no, I'm a pro, man.
I know.
I'm like,
and you find it's funny too, because for some reason it's like bodybuilding is weird because everyone who goes to a gym and takes steroids thinks they can be a pro. To me, it's like, you've got friends that probably play golf, play tennis, and they might do little in-house contests, but my friend that does tennis, he's not saying, oh, next year, Lee, I'm going to take on fucking Djokovic and all this. It's like, he knows his place. He knows he's just, but everyone that takes a bit of steroids and that, I'm going to be Mr. fucking Olympia. And you go, I don't know. It's like.
The crazy thing is, some of these gyms you go to, you just start talking to some of the members. Some of those guys are taking more gear than you guys.
That's it. And that's the thing. And you tell them that. And I've always been honest, like I said before.
Is that true, Sid? Or?
And you tell them that, and they're like, oh, you're lying. And that's why, too, because I've been honest. I could see Jay being, I remember Dorian was honest, and you read the comments. They might as well just say nothing at all if they're going to lie. And I'm like, but we're not lying. I don't get, look at all the things I've spoke about in my life, whether it be my sex life and that. I think if I was going to lie.
You probably don't want to admit to half the time.
I talked about that time I was in a threesome with my missus at the time, and she was riding the guy, and I'm standing beside the bed. I'm like, who's sucking my dick? I went, oh, fuck, it's him. And someone goes, why didn't you stop him? I said, I would have been accused of being homophobic, so I just let him finish. I said, if I was going to lie about something, I wouldn't tell that story. Could look him in the eyes again from that day on, but
you're definitely lying about your steroid use.
I know. But the thing was, I'm thinking, I used to lie to my mates. I say, listen, they'd be like, I can't believe you did that. I said, listen, if you're in a dark room, I said, if there's no mustache and beard, a mouth's a mouth. You don't know the difference. And people still bring that. And people go in the comments too. Sometimes I'll be online and someone goes, oh, Lee, he got sucked off by a guy. They keep bringing it up.
Your credibility with steroid use is not.
I know.
Because of that.
I know. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing I would have kept quiet.
I remember years ago, this guy was showing us the gear he was going to take. We're like, what's this for? He's like, Columbus. I'm like, you're competing? He's like, no, I got to get ready for the expo. Yo, are you fucking dieting for the expo? It's winter. You're wearing a fucking jacket.
You see guys coming around in tank tops through the expos like this. I'm thinking, you're at the contest with the best in the world. What the fuck are you doing?
I'd walk through the expo today at the Olympia, and I saw a guy with no shirt on. And that's the first thing.
I saw him do it.
No shirt. I'm thinking, you realize the best bodybuilders on earth are here.
He came over
and you're like a large swimmer.
He came over to talk to me and was telling me how natural he was. He's not on gear yet. Then I said, he's just pumping up with his photo. He's like, no, come on, let's take the photo. Because he's doing the chest press machine on the new tech stuff and that. But the thing is too, you've had that, because back in the day, you have the old cameras where you have to get it developed, but now, every time someone take a photo with you, they walk to the girlfriend, oh, can we do another one? I'm like, what? It's not the right angle. And then they're holding your hand and all you feel is, it's like relax. It's like relax, mate. It's just a photo. I'm like, oh my God. I just stand normal. They're like, you trying to out me? I'm like, man, I'm just standing straight. I don't give a at my age, I don't give a shit how I look.
I don't either. I'm like, you can take the angle, stand closer to the camera. It makes you look bigger, you know.
Exactly. But the way they walk around like I said, at these bodybuilding shows in their tank tops, I'm thinking, do you go to a porn expo and hang your cock out and walk around? Look at me. I got a fucking donga. But at bodybuilding, it's like, oh my God.
I've always thought that you go to some of these bodybuilding shows, like, didn't your parents teach you how to dress? This is not a gym.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're in public.
Or the lats are flared out like this. I asked a girl once, she came. Well, here's another funny story about that. I forget, one time I was in South Carolina or somewhere, and this was back in the day where earrings were left ear, you're straight or righty or gay.
Yes, right here.
I had both ears pierced, right? So I'm signing the photo, this guy, a girl and his boyfriend are there. She looks at me as I'm signing the picture. She goes, I got a question. She goes, one ear means straight and one ear means you're gay. She goes, you got both ears done. What's that mean? I looked up and said, that means when I'm finished fucking you, I'm going to fuck him. Yeah. She's like, I just give stupid answers back. I'm like, but just look on her face was, oh, okay. Yeah, but I was just like, yeah.
Well, nowadays, if she had your Instagram, she'd DM you.
Probably. Yeah, but that's why I said, and all
Are you
stuff.
serious? Can we take you to the offer?
Remember us? That's why I said I don't get it. I said all the stuff I could lie about. I've always been an open book, and in all my seminars or on my videos, I was like, I don't know. That's what I said when I tell stories. That's when Mum's like, maybe don't be that truthful. Yeah. Like, Mum, you taught me to be truthful. So like I said, I don't. That's why I've got the thing too, where say that happened, where the guy blew me the thing, and someone found out. Hey, Lee, I'm going to tell everyone. I'd be like, too late. I already have. I don't care. It's like,
beat you to it.
Yeah. Yeah, but like I said, I don't care what people know about me. I got no shame. God, imagine when I'm 70.
He's going to put that on a shirt, mouth to mouth. He's going to put that on a t-shirt. You can sell it. Make money.
Beard, no mustache. Just
no beard, no mustache. Yeah, there you go. You can have a glory hole with a mustache.
Sweating.
Any hole's a goal.
This shit's definitely getting canceled.
And the thing was too, I finished in his mouth too, so there was no mess. For him sticking, I thought I might have had to wash the sheets, but he swallowed it. Oh, imagine that. Someone actually got my testosterone. Guy's probably fucking huge today. You're taking the synthetic. I got it from Lee Priest's balls. I got Lee Priest's DNA in me. Probably growing an extra arm out his head. Fucking poor cunt. Imagine if he see how I tell that story. I wonder if he's ever gone around to his mates and go, I blew Lee Priest. Really? You know that story he tells? That was me.
Why don't you put a post up and say, hey, who's that guy?
I should blow his name out. This is who it was.
We probably know him too.
That was Jay Cutler. You know, when he said he was the freakiest guy I've ever seen. No, but
you're definitely getting canceled.
I never thought about that. I wonder if he ever tells the story.
What if he's doing a podcast right now?
Yeah.
Tell him the story.
And he tasted very salty.
Oh my God. It's because you eat McDonald's.
No, it does. Yeah, I should have had pineapple here. That makes it taste better. Sorry, mate. And also, it's just a weird experience. As like I said, I'm touching her boobies while she's riding, and like, her mouth's up there. Oh, fuck. See, kids don't do drugs. You do weird shit.
That's why you don't do drugs.
That's the thing. I don't do them all the time. It's like, but I said, what if I did them? Even when it comes to steroids, I've never had that addictive personality. When I came to drinking or doing a bit of cocaine or something, I remember, like I said, just was it 2 nights ago, that young kid from UTech, because I got a bad sciatic nerve, and after the flight, I said, got any gummies or something just so I can sleep here? So he gave me that vape. So
you can walk in any place and get it here.
Yeah, so I'm vaping on it. I thought, oh, fuck, the smoke detector might go off in here. So while I'm in the shower, I'm vaping in the shower. I'm like, oh, I feel good. Now I'll go to bed. I'm laying in the bed. I'm like, oh, fuck, it's like Freddy Krueger. I was going into the bed. I got my arm beside me. I'm like, fuck, my arm's melting. I'm like, oh, fuck, my head feels weird. I thought, if you've got bad anxiety, have a cold shower. So I jumped in the shower, got out, okay, and I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, oh, fuck, I'm laying back down. I got to go downstairs and walk around. Then I'm laying in bed, and now my heart's going boom, 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 boom. I'm like, this cunt's give me some party fucking drug.
Yeah.
So I finally saw him the next day. I said, how many? You might take
it's moon rocks.
I don't know, but just
laced with moon rocks.
Is it?
Did he call you really and say?
Yeah, I was texting him. I'm like, I'm fucking tripping out here. I don't know what the fuck's going on. And then I said to him the next day, I said, how many of those do you take? He goes, oh, 2 or 3 max. He goes, how many do you have? I said, 20.
Yeah.
Like when I go all out, the worst I ever did one time was I was just pissed off at something. I did like 5 grams of Coke and 5 grams of MD in one night, and I thought I was going to meet my maker that night. My chest was getting tight. I'm like, oh, fuck, Lee, you've overdone it now. This is it. But I sat there for like 6 hours watching porn with a massage gun on my dick. I wondered why it was blue and purple the next day. But here's the thing. I could show you this thing here. I won't show anyone else, but I did this.
He's got a video of all this.
No, I don't have a video, but my mate, because if you do coke right, after a while your thing goes down. So I thought, what can I do? I said, I'll get Viagra. So I got Viagra. And then my mate says, I got this stuff you can inject into yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the
bodybuilders take it now.
So I did that. So what happened? 3 days later, it's still hard. My wife's like, you have to go to the hospital.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to the fucking hospital. It's embarrassing. Eventually, you have to go to the first hospital, tell the nurse what happened. She goes, drop your pants. I'm like, oh, fuck. Brings out a bowl of ice water with bandages. She wraps it around my dick like, and she's just squeezing the fuck out of it for 20 minutes. She goes, I don't think this is working. I've called a urologist or something up at the other hospital. You have to go up there and see him. So I go up there, tell him, explain to him. So like, okay, Lee, what we've got to do is we've got to give you shots in your groin to numb it. And then I'm going to put a needle in each side of your penis and drain the blood. Oh, I got it. Sounds fine. So he puts it, I'm like, oh. And when he puts it in, I'm thinking, oh, that's it. But then he puts it in this side, that side, this side, like 20 times. And he squeezes it and blood's coming out like a sprinkler. This was it here with a needle hanging out.
Oh, my God.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah.
But here, I'll just show you the groin itself.
Oh.
This is how bruised my groin was. That's the, look.
No, I'm not.
It's black.
Yeah, but like, I almost look like Kai Green, don't I?
Yeah.
You know I was part black, did you? But as my mate took me up there and the doctor's looking at me, he's asking my friend Adam and took me up there. He's like, so how often do you two have sex? And I'm like, oh, fuck, he thinks we're gay. Yeah, but then here's the funny thing. Of course, that was so painful. Swear to God, for 6 months after that, we had like sliding doors in the house. And sometimes if I had a few drinks, I'd get my cock and slam it between the doors, and then I'd go into the kitchen and put it in the kitchen drawer and shut the drawer on it because I had this like, it's almost like what are those people that like pain? Like
It's not, there's no pain at all.
yeah, there is pain, but you know, people like get off on the pain. So for like 6 months, I'm surprised it's still fucking attached to me. The abuse it's got, the abuse it's gone through, but the blood everywhere. It's just like he's squeezing the hell out of it. And they've got like 300 mils of blood they drained.
So you don't regret doing all this?
Nah, it's a learning experience, Jay.
I don't need to learn that experience.
Oh, but it's
Sid, did you know this story? Oh,
I'll have to show you the photos. It looks like I've just been given birth or something. Jay will never be the same. Who did when I saw Greg Valentino, I took his phone and I put that on his phone. So when someone calls, it pops up.
No way.
I got home. He's like, "What the fuck did you put on?"
stayed together in Venice or something recently, didn't you? Or a year or two ago?
He was in New Jersey when I went out there for that seminar, the same one I'm going to now. So he'll be there again, I think, in Jimmy the Bull and that. So yeah, but yeah, the shit I've done to myself, and I said, kids don't do drugs. It's like, fuck.
Yeah, we got to keep you away. Good thing you're leaving Vegas early enough.
It's coming back for a day and a week.
I've already got some gummies, and
No.
I prefer gummies.
Now I know why you stay in your room instead of going out places. You got to keep them locked.
Well, every time, that's the thing. Every time I have drunk or done shit like that, I never do it in public. It's always at home.
Will you watch the show tonight?
Probably just what's on the phone or what people put up.
Are you rooting for anybody?
No.
Not close to any of the guys?
No. Like I said, it'd be nice to see Samson win or someone different. But look, I like Derek. Nothing against Derek, but he's Mr. Olympia, yes. But for some reason, when I look at him, I just don't see Mr.
What about
Olympia.
Hardy Chupin?
Hardy, I would like to see win. But for some reason, when I look at Derek, I just don't see Mr. Olympia. To me, Mr. Olympia should be something like, wow. Okay, people see his freak. I don't know whether it's just because I've seen Paul and competed with Paul and
Dorian Yates.
saw you, Dorian, NASA, Marcus Rule, that to impress me, you got to be like, I want to see someone that where you think like, oh, no matter what you do, you could never look like that.
Someone walks through the door and they just can't hide it.
Yeah, it's just like, oh my God, that's just incredible.
I still think Hottie should have like 4 Olympias right now.
Yeah, like he looks good too. I think
even Brandon Curry looked good last night though.
Yeah.
From
Well, I saw
like one of the best looks.
Well, he put up that video a couple of weeks ago doing arms, and I thought then this is the best Brandon's look and that sort of thing. So yeah, it was good. It would have been good to see Rami in it again too, because then you would have had 5 Mr. Olympias in the same show. So
That'd be pretty cool.
But I thought Brandon had a great showing, and
yeah,
I mean Andrew Jack looked improved.
Yeah, but Andrew looked really good. He looks really good. Then when you see him beside Samson now, I'm like, My eyes keep going to Andrews when they're standing side by side for some reason. So as good as Samson is, I'm looking at, if I had to pick out those two, I'd probably pick Andrew as Mr. Olympia if I was to look at it. So, yeah.
We don't get to judge the shows. So
and that's the thing too, isn't it funny these days? I know Milos was telling me that Derek got mad at him for putting him, saying he was going to place here or somewhere. I was like, that's just opinions,
we have
guys.
to be, obviously we do podcasts and we're like,
yeah, but it's just an opinion. It's just like, it doesn't mean I don't like you. It doesn't mean you're not great. It's just that
there's no such thing. If you have an opinion, it's not right or wrong. It's your opinion.
Exactly.
And if people take hard to it, well, then you've got a hard time in life.
And every time you say something, you're saying, look, you're a great bodybuilder, you look good, but I prefer this type of physique. Some like the freaky, some like the symmetric, or some like combination of both.
It's different if someone shits on you as a person.
It'd be different if you said, oh, he sucks, he looks like shit, I don't want to see him win, he's a prick. Is that okay? If you're talking about someone like that, but if you're just giving an honest opinion of, I prefer this physique, or I prefer his conditioning more, I prefer just the way his legs are, or something like that, or his back, you're just giving your opinion. That why do these people get so upset now? Like you said, a lot of these physique guys are getting upset with each other.
We don't ever make predictions on the show. Nothing.
No. And there's only if somebody asked you too. It's like, back in our day, I don't think we even cared really, did we? It's like we'd hear stuff and someone goes, oh, such and such looking good.
The truth is though, Lee, is like you'd get to Olympia, especially in your era, and like there's like 8 guys that could switch around, and like every show, it's like you can compete one week, and then the next week it's like, well, the guy second falls to like 6th.
Yeah. That's why I never got disheartened. It's like, someone get mad if you beat them sometimes. It's like, well, it's not me, it's the judges. So don't get mad at me. But it's like you said, one week this guy might win, next week this guy wins, and next week the guy that was in 3rd wins, and the guy that won gets 4th. It's like everybody's always changed. You get to a point where you can't always be your best. Someone's always going to be better. Your body gets tired. I remember one year I did like my 5th show, and I remember just no matter how much cardio I did, my body just unresponsive. I'd start cutting food back to get harder. I was just getting flatter and small. I said, when your body's had enough, it knows. So, yeah, but like now, I think the most I did one year with the European tours was 11 shows in 1 year. But now it's like that would be unheard of. But it's crazy. I think guys should, like I said, should compete more because it's better for the fans, for promoters, and it's the only way you're going to learn your body. Because I've never had anyone help me. Never had gurus. Never had anything. I just did my own thing, learnt my own thing. And like you might talk to someone, Paul might say this is what he's doing. I remember saying to Paul one time when he was living with me, I remember I was at the fridge, I'm like, what will I have for lunch? Steak, chicken, or that. I said, Paul, why do you have, because Paul had his diet from Chad on the fridge. I said, why do you use Chad? He goes, see you now, Lee, deciding what you want. He goes, I just look at the fridge and Chad tells me what to do. He goes, I'm fucking lazy. So sometimes people just need that. Because to me, if you have a good support group, a good training partner, someone that's honest with you, that's really what you need. Because say I was a coach and you come to me and said, Lee, can you get me ready for a show? I don't know your body. I don't know how you respond. So I'm just going to say, okay, you obviously know how to train, so I don't need to tell you that. So I'll be just there to motivate you. But if I give you a diet and drugs, I'll be like, here, take this, Jay. 2 weeks. How you feeling? Okay, cut this out. I was like, you can do that yourself. And normally by this point, you should know. Because I've always said to young kids that get on drugs now, they'll start their first cycle on 3 or 4 different drugs.
Crazy, yeah.
Of course.
Whenever I did mine, my first one was Deca. Then a couple of months later, I did test. So I knew how each drug affected me. So if I was going to put 2 or 3 together, I put 2 or 3 together that I know works for my body. Young kids now taking 4 or 5. Oh, it's working good. I'm like, hey, you know which ones are working? Maybe only 2 are working. The other ones, you're just wasting your time. So
I remember the first time I'd mixed 2 things, I was kind of scared. I was nervous. Like, holy shit, this is like big time.
Yeah. And I never...
It wasn't much.
No, or even Winstrol. I finally learned, Winstrol you do every second day because it's water-based. And I did that for like a year. And I'm like, fuck it. To me, I like it 1 shot a week. That was always me. Mm-hmm. Test it beginning of the week or whatever else, the Deca. Next Friday, do it again. And I had the Winstrol like every second day. I'm like, fuck this. I went every 3rd day, every 4th day. I remember having the stenazole bottle. I'm reading it said, a horse. No, I ended up drinking it eventually, but then I read on the side, it said a horse, 2 mil per 100 kilos every 8 days. And I'm like, well, if a horse only needs 2 mil per 100 kilos, why the fuck am I taking 1 mil every second day?
Because the guy down told me that.
Yeah.
Yep.
There's never been anyone obviously like Dan Duchesne wrote the steroid handbook or Bill Phillips or whatever. Yeah. But like, who really knows? Everyone's different.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, exactly.
You're a hyper responder. Yeah. I'm a hyper responder. Paul Dillette's a hyper responder. Like everyone, all of us are. Those guys at that elite level, we're all hypers. No, there was barely anyone. I guarantee a lot of the gym goers were taking more than the top guys.
You even look at, say you pick another sport, pick sprinting. How many people in the world can probably fucking sprint like fucking fast as hell? But no matter what drug they take, they're not going to be a Hussein Bolt or a Carl Lewis or a Ben Johnson. They might be fast, but I always said too, it's almost like when I used to race the dragsters. You know, I might race an alcohol drag, so you get the top fuel dragsters. You put that special fuel in that, the car's designed for it, it's going to go fast. If I take that fuel and just put in a Toyota Camry, it's not going to go as fast as the top fuel dragster. So your bodies are pretty much the same.
If you remove drugs from completely, the same people are still going to
Exactly.
That's just
they might not be as big and freaky or this and that, but they're still going to be.
Be smaller, but the same guys that are on the Olympia stage are going to be the same guys in the chart.
Yeah, but people don't want to hear that now. People are like, I heard it all the time. Yeah. If I started when you started, if I took what you took, I'm like, I'll give you what I'm taking and see if you look like me. I said, you're probably taking more than me to begin with.
I wish it was that easy. We could breed a lot of great bodybuilders.
Sometimes you get, what's the secret? I'm like, there is one. I said, well, if there's a secret, fuck, for 40 years I've been doing it the wrong way.
The funniest one is the Michael Hearn.
I
took all him. I could look like him.
I know, exactly.
He's 55.
But the thing with Mike is too, if you see him as a teenager to now, there's never been a point in his career where he's just gone boom.
No.
He's always been a big, strong
guy. He was
guy.
huge when we were there in 93.
Yes. And like I said, it's like an illusion too. When he gets in shape, sometimes he looks bigger. You're like, fuck, he's got bigger. He's put size on. But you see him in person, he's still the same Mike.
Yeah.
And people
he's
just
not huge.
No.
But think about it. When then someone goes, if I took steroids, there's tens of millions of people in the world that take steroids.
Exactly.
They don't look like that.
Well, how many times?
Not steroids.
Well, look at Gold Jim back in the day. How many people do we know took drugs? And if I said to Jay, that guy's on drugs, you're like, fuck, does he even train?
Yeah.
They don't even look like they go to the gym, but yet they're pumping as much as the pros.
Yeah.
But then they think you're bigger, so you're taking more. It's just that mentality.
Well, I think it's funny now when guys are, I'm just going to cruise on 500 milligrams a week for the next 3 months. That's my TRT.
Cruising, there's no bridging. When we're off,
bridging.
Nothing.
I'm only doing this and this in between.
I don't even know what fucking, when people say to me, Lee, what bro split you're on? I'm like, what's the fucking bro split?
I'm like, bro.
What the fuck? I'm like,
we didn't call it that, right?
To me, like I said, bodybuilding, I was like, why are you overcomplicating it? Lifting weights and doing whatever is so basic.
It's kind of like giant sets and that thing. Like that was only like a Joe Weider, like
or
in the magazine.
Set, I think the supersets was the most we've done. Or maybe you might do a 3 in a row, but that's pushing it. But but back then I was like, to me, it's like you want to get big, lift heavy weights, eat a lot, and rest.
It's like macros. Like, hey, what's your macros?
I hate that word too. Like, what the fuck's macros? I was like, to me, you want to lose weight, eat cleaner, do cardio. And still train hard. If you're going to use a bit of gear, if you're at that level, fine. But there's no secret. Everyone's trying to overcomplicate this shit where my coach says this and this is the thing too. I have people write to me, Lee, I'd love you to do me a diet and a program. So I look at their profile, certified fitness coach, trainer, I'm thinking, what can I teach you then? Yeah. I used to say the thing too, I remember like Ian Valier, it's like he got Chris Bumstead ready. I think, why does Ian need a coach then? Because if you train Chris and he's won those Olympias, can't you train yourself? It's like, that's the same thing. To me, it'd be like if you were training somebody, or say you trained me, and I did well, I was doing okay, but then you went to somebody else, I'd be like, well, fuck, I'm going to go who Jay's going to, because if Jay can't get himself ready, he trusts this guy. This guy must be better, so I'm going to go to him. So I don't get why these people all need these coaches and trainers. And then how many times now do you see it? Someone's with a coach for a year or two, didn't do what? They go to another one. Then they go to another. It's like, oh, this coach must know the secret. It's like, there is no secret.
Some people just like to see what efforts they have.
I had a girl just the other day just randomly like talk to me about what her coach had her taking.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm only taking between 40 and 50 milligrams of Anavar, but he told me the top pros are taking 100. This is bikini girls, 100 milligrams of Anavar. Bikini girls.
You'd be surprised some of those girls would take more than, like I said, when I was with Kathy.
It's crazy.
Kathy would be like, Lee, I know women taking more than you. And it's crazy. Even some of the fitness girls back in the day, some of the shit they were on, even a lot of the T3s and all that sort of stuff and the thyroid drugs. And back then there's a few, when they come off them, they just got fat because their own natural system shut down. They just stay on it for the rest of their life.
Yeah. Yep.
And people don't realize that. It's like I said, everyone's looking for a secret or the easy way, and there is none. You either got it or you got it.
At the end of the day, I say this to people all the time. There's people on this planet that are better than you.
Exactly.
You just have to realize that.
Yeah.
That's why I never competed.
Yeah.
I got big, I got huge, I was strong, and I put the trunks on, I looked in the mirror. I don't have the structure to be good.
Yeah.
So what am I going to do? And I've had people say to me, well, you shouldn't have gave up on your dreams. Like, to get my ass kicked? No,
I said you'd be
no,
one-
I don't have the shape for it, so I'm not going to waste my time.
I see you'd be one
I
of
love
those
to
people.
train.
Yeah, you'd be one of those people like we used to see living out the back of Golds.
Of course.
Their life's going by, and at the age of 50, they've had a heart attack, taken steroids, and never accomplished anything. So, you like them chips, do you?
No, good. Yeah.
See?
All right, we got to wrap this thing up.
Yeah.
He's going to need to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Lee, thank you so much for
thank
coming on,
you.
man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You got me, dude. I was sweating for a minute there.
Oh, I have to come back for
This
part 2 and tell
definitely
more.
getting canceled.
Oh, I don't feel like
so.
that.
I don't think so.
No, it's fun.
I think
This
people
is-
like
this is
it.
Lee's
How long?
crazy
How
life.
long we at?
2 hours and 30 minutes.
It's a lot.
This is Lee's crazy life here.
Well, listen, we
so-
appreciate you
And
coming.
I got
in.
Jade eat
Yeah,
McDonald's.
yeah. I enjoyed it. You gonna eat the rest right now, or
I'll have another one or two.
You got there's piles here.
well, these kids ate it, right?
Can you
These
take
guys
that home to Angie?
Come on, we got it.
I like that's my thing. I
On a
like
diet now.
I like when Angie goes live on Instagram and she's cooking and I get on there and annoy her.
He's our favorite.
I get on there and annoy the hell out of her. I say, "Are you cooking for him again? What's he doing?" Because Jay's a gourmet cook. He just takes those. What meals do you get?
Mega fit.
He's a gourmet mega fit.
Yeah, just throws them
microwave
in the
warmer.
fucking pan. He doesn't use the microwave. He throws them
Oh,
in
he
the
does
pan.
here.
I like to skillet it.
At home, he's acting like he's fucking some top chef, just stirring it
Jay
around.
Lagasse.
I used to remember Emerald Lagasse. Is he still on TV?
I
No.
don't know. He was the best. He was a chef for my friend's wedding.
How many times did you diet for shows and all I watched was the Food Network? I'm like, am I fucking retarded? Am I just torturing myself? I'd watch the Food Network and then I'd go to the grocery store, right? And if there was,
Cook it.
no, I'd just get bread and break it. Easter time, I'd smash all the chocolate eggs. I'm like, if I can't have them, no one fucking can. I'd get angry when I go shopping when I was dieting.
Thanks for coming on.
Lee.
Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it, bro.
2.5 hours.